Hello and welcome to the Video Game Dads podcast. This is episode 36.
36?
We are a tri-weekly, amateur, family-friendly podcast where three guys in a basement talk gaming, fatherhood, and everything in between. Thank you for listening. We are three, but actually we are four. Yep. I am Ben, and to my left,
Michael,
and to my straight,
Adam,
and to my crooked, to my right,
I'm Shane.
Yeah, Shane. Full house. Yeah, we don't get to do this every day.
I know. We're all here.
Yeah, we're bumping knees, not uglies. Oh, there it goes. And no promises on no adult content. Kids wouldn't have known that. If your kid does know it,
earmuffs.
Yeah,
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Yep. Earmuff it.
But anyway, guys, we've got a pretty good episode coming up. Before we get to that stuff, let's see where you can find us. Where can you email us, Adam?
videogamedads@yahoo.com.
Yeah, and our Facebook, Shane?
Is facebook.com/videogamedads.
All right, and Michael, our MySpace.
It's at video games /MySpace/ it's gone.
Slash
Bye-bye.
Is MySpace even a thing anymore?
No.
I don't think
owns
so.
it.
I think someone bought it recently, but I don't know what they're gonna
For
do with
two
it.
crackers.
Yeah,
The wooden nickel.
You can make like 10 total friends on there now. So
Jeez.
yeah.
One of them will be Tom
Yep.
with his little thumb that kind of looks like a member of your
I wonder if my
crotch.
playlist is still going on that thing. I'd love to see my playlist on MySpace right now.
You know, one of these days, you know, when you're elected or when you're running for president,
Yeah.
your MySpace page is going to show up.
Probably.
Oh, boy.
It lives somewhere.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah,
mine
it's
was
still there.
single, so it was full of like,
Yep,
you know,
that's what
like,
I'm saying,
right?
man.
And I knew a buddy of mine who met his like wife on MySpace, and they're still together and they're married
nice.
and whatever. But yeah, I just remember people would bling out their MySpace, so it would chug, and you'd open the page, it'd take 20 years.
Oh, yeah. You would
Yeah.
put
Oh,
little
yeah. Oh, my
applets
gosh.
into it.
Yep.
You could read the backgrounds. Yeah.
Sparklies and all
Yeah,
that. Oh, my
it's
gosh.
that's when everybody learned to be a
forgot.
mini web designer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on my.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I remember doing.
forgot about
putting
But
in
otherwise, you would
code.
download little bits of code. You would
Yeah.
load it into these dialog boxes, and it'd make your MySpace page freak out and do weird stuff. And it also broke the internet.
Yeah.
It made the thing not work.
Well, I still had a
Yeah.
56K modem then, so like it wasn't until college. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
that I got that cable modem.
Jeez.
That's chug-a-lugging then.
Yeah, so find us on MySpace. Tweet at us at Video Game Dads. That's where you can find us. We have a great little episode coming up. We are going to talk about this new PlayStation Classic Mini. It's kind of interesting. Definitely PlayStation's foray into the classic minis. I also have a little surprise segment that just came up, breaking news. I'll save it for right after that. This new Beatemups collection, right? Capcom.
That's right.
It's pretty cool. The physical edition, you can't find here. We
not
can talk about that a little bit.
Get
But
it somewhere.
and then our buddy, friend of the show, first, second interview we ever had, Brett Weiss, has a new book out. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then another book coming out next. We'll be seeing this guy at PRGE. And talking about PRGE, this is our last episode before. So we're going to have a little segment talking about the con.
Yep.
I'm pumped.
We're gonna
Yes, dude.
I don't think we didn't prep for it. I think it's just going to be like, what do we want? What are we excited for? What are we looking for?
Yeah.
And then
Just off the top of the head, whatever we could think of.
Yeah.
What we want.
Yeah.
So pumped.
Yeah. And then, there's some segments in there. There's a new Intellivision system or something coming out. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then anything else that might pop up. We've got our normal segments, the Handheld Holla. This will be another episode. We will not be able to do our video game book club. We all had a couple things kind of pop up this last week that inhibited us. A couple of us had new houses, moving. So our game collections weren't there, and we want to be able to have Techromancer and Euphoria for the NES. We want to be able to have enough flavor in our conversation. So we will put off our video game book club. But anyway, those that don't know about that segment, we talk about video games in between episodes and then bring them up again. And then we pick a listener pick and a dad pick. So it's a fun little segment. So if you're new to the show, please listen to other episodes and check it out. That's by far our most popular segment. But we're going to skip that this week. We will come back next time. And the fun thing is, next time we're going to be able to talk about all the PRGE stuff.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's technically the week after. So hide your kids, hide your wife, warn your kids. The whole like, oh crap, you just got in 3 days later. Nope, we're going to come do an episode because we want to talk about
My
it.
wife is going to love me.
Well, and hopefully,
It is what it is.
hopefully we'll meet some people too and spread the word so we got a new episode for them coming out. Not everybody can always make the episodes, but we're trying to stay on schedule for sure.
Yep.
And then of course our handheld holla.
Booyah.
We're gonna have to go.
That'd be awesome.
A little segment where we give some handheld love. But yeah, I figure I don't know anything else going on. Let's talk a little before we get all crazy pants. Adam, you've got kind of the most going on, wouldn't you say? As far as you have a new level in your life, a new homestead. Right?
We do, yeah. Life's been a little bit chaotic. I spoke a little bit on the last episode about having bought a new house.
Yeah.
So we've kind of done the move. The people who were moving out of the house that we were moving into hired some movers who were nice enough to destroy the floor on the first floor of the house
boy.
with a piano.
Dude.
And so we're moving in, but we also had to leave everything off the first level of the house because they had to come in and redo all of the flooring on the first floor of the house. So last week, for about for nearly a week, I was out of a house in a hotel. With the fam, wife, 2 kids,
New baby,
little baby,
Oh, boy.
and so plus going to work and all that kind of stuff. So it's been pretty awesome. So it's basically my fault we are not doing video game book club, essentially, because it's been too chaotic and I just haven't had time.
No,
It's
not
kind
at
of
all.
the bottom line.
It's the people who ran a piano across your floor.
Sort of, but it's been a little bit annoying. Like, the moving company, I'm sure they're insured and that sort of thing, but they're paying for the floor to be redone. It's a wood floor, so you have to redo the whole thing, or it doesn't match.
Yeah.
So they're paying to have that redone. They're paying to have the baseboards repainted and all that sort of thing, but they won't pay for my hotel and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So we're still in a little bit of a dispute
Limbo,
about
yeah.
that whole thing because it wasn't exactly my idea to spend the first week in my house, not in my house.
Yep.
So
You're gonna get some dueling pistols out. That's where we're at.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gotten a little bit
go to
annoying.
war.
Or a leather
But,
glove.
so we'll
Yeah,
see.
leather gloves.
sir. Yes.
Let's handle this like gentlemen.
So that part of it has not been great, but the house is cool. I mean, I still like it. Shane and I, the new game room. It's an early work in progress, but I've started. Well, I got a new air conditioning unit installed. I put some pictures of this all on Facebook.
Yeah, check
but-
out our Facebook for some construction of our new lair, which will also be our listening studio.
Yeah, it'll be our
recording studio.
Yeah, it'll be our new recording studio.
Yeah.
But got a new AC unit put on it. Started putting the insulation in this week. I'll probably be done with insulating it by this weekend. Shane came over night before last, and we actually hung insulation out in the new place together. Got a lot of it done.
Fun.
And next is sheetrock.
That's a
So
lot.
I feel like I'm becoming a man right
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
because I'm not much of a construction
Your
type.
beard has
Handyman,
grown 3
But
inches.
But he still goes home and is like, oh, splinter.
Yeah.
That's some Vaseline.
Well, no. So I watched enough YouTube videos on how to do drywall that I think I can pull it off.
I will be
Yeah.
extremely impressed.
So if it
I hate
if it
drywall.
looks like garbage, I'm just going to say, well, it's my first time,
Yeah.
And if it looks great, then I'm going to say, of course it looks great. I know what I was doing. but so I've watched just enough YouTube videos on how to do drywall, probably to be dangerous.
Yeah. Get
Nice.
yourself into trouble.
So I'm going to go ahead and try
Alright.
to do it. It should be good.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
It may take me a few months, but it'll get there.
Nice. So join Adam and Bob Vila. What do you got, Mike? Michael, what's been up?
Just I've been hanging out with the new baby and taking care of him. The 2 boys. Yeah, actually,
Double the work. Yeah,
double the
yeah.
work.
I know. Actually, this weekend, tomorrow, my wife is going to visit her aunt for her birthday up in Chicago and taking the 2 boys with them. So this is kind of the first weekend by myself in probably about 2 years now.
Mini
I know. So we
vacation.
kind of got the bachelor pad going on over
Yeah.
at
All
my
right, guys,
place.
we're going over to his house 12 o'clock
Yeah.
tomorrow.
That's
when
funny.
all the kids go to bed. We're gonna sneak over to his house.
My brain was just like he could just be naked, no one would care. But now with us coming over, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that, don't do
we're
that.
close,
I'm
Mike.
coming over. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm a boxer, man. So
I get it.
boxer and robe.
Free boy.
But I really do wear a robe at home, like on Sundays and stuff. So I'll be like wearing that the whole weekend.
Nice.
So,
King of the castle, king of the castle.
right.
Your holiness. Yeah, awesome. Sweet. What about you, Shane? What's going on? What's going on in the homestead of Swiss Family Robinson?
Oh boy, I tell you what, it's just.
Well, you were sick as a dog.
I was sick.
Yeah.
And then we finished the house.
Yep.
We're selling a house. Got the 3 kiddos. Restarted up back up school. So Deacon's in 2 schools right now. So
Nice.
he goes to school at 8 and then noon to 4. So
Okay.
And then Lexi gets on the bus at noon. So, and I pick up Deacon at 4. So
You got
just a
some
little mini
time.
schedule there. I'm busy.
Oh,
Super
busy. I was gonna
yeah.
say you got some time in between.
Oh
but
no. It's like an hour separation in between, like
Okay.
hour or two. But
Enough time to not do anything.
Yeah.
Be able to get anything done.
yeah, just a little bit around the house and whatnot. But other than that, man, just keeping up with the kids and it's really busy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I hear
trying
you.
to stay busy. Yep.
Let's see.
What about you, Benji?
Yeah.
What are
Yeah,
you doing?
what are you been up to?
I actually had a random like game night with somebody I worked with, right? So this
Nice.
guy I work with, he like, you know, he's in the military too, and he's got like such a great job and great gig. He basically does what I do, but he's been doing it longer, and he's got a pretty cool specialty, or he's kind of like in his own like niche, and he's just fun dude. And his just like what's going on with you, Michael, his family's going out of town, and so he was like, hey, I should just kind of get a game night. So it was his friends and then just kind of me. I didn't know him, but it was
Yeah.
cool because like you never know, like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with somebody I don't know, but he
Yeah.
was cool enough. I was like, his friends
Worth a
can't
shot.
be
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy or whatever. Because I've had that happen before, where you're in a clique and you're just
Yep.
sitting there like,
You got
all right,
along with
Odd
them?
man out.
cool, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been there.
You got along with them?
Yeah, and it was funny because so we went and I'm going to bring the games, right? He had board games and stuff like that, and I don't play a lot of board games, and I ended up bringing SNES Classic,
Nice.
and which
Easy
was
to hook
fun,
up, yeah.
and I put it in the case. So I bought the stupid collector case for it as a
Yep,
dumb
I've
thing, and
seen
I
those,
looked at
yep.
it forever, and I'm like, I'm never going to use it. I was like, oh my god, I could put it
Actually
in the
use
case
this
and
thing,
bring it
yeah.
over there. And then I also brought one of those flip up TVs that are in the suitcase.
Oh,
so two of
yeah.
them.
Oh,
So
yeah,
then
nice.
that way I didn't know his TV situation, so we could like, I don't know, do a drink game or whatever. But he sous vide some steaks. Holy crap! Do you guys know what
Nice.
sous vide is?
I have no idea.
No.
Okay, so there's this new way of cooking that's been pretty like a top fad thing in the coast for a few years. It's where you cook your meat right under boiling temperature of like water.
I have heard of this.
Okay,
I didn't know what
is
the
this-
term was for it.
Yeah,
okay,
sous
I
vide.
think I may
I
have
think
it.
that's a
Yep.
French word. I'm
Yep.
probably not saying it right. But basically, you take your meat and you can buy a sous vide, and you just get a pan full of water, and this thing heats it up, but right like 4 degrees under boiling. So it cooks your food. And it takes a while, right? So your steaks take like 2 hours to cook, and then basically put them on a grill and braise them, and it is like you were eating like championship like cooked meat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
that
you
makes
can do,
sense.
You can
Yeah.
do it with chicken, and then that way you never have like dried chicken.
Yep.
You
That
can
would
also
be
like
good
put
for
them in
chicken.
baggies so the moisture stays whatever. But it's pretty simple, and I was like, holy cow!
Yeah,
like,
I seen this like 4
and-
years ago on like Ramsey or something. Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
so me, I don't have an iron stomach. I've got kind of like a lady boy stomach or whatever. So like I get
Girly
food.
man.
I get food poisoning. If someone's got food poisoning 2 blocks away, I have food poisoning. It sucks. But what's cool is it totally kills all the microbes by doing that. So you can cook it, and I can actually have like pink meat.
That's nice.
Yeah, all you guys do, and all the guys that when I'm like, well done. It's like, nah, yeah, I don't want to be on the toilet for 2 days straight, you know. So where's this podcast going, you guys? Sorry, but anyway, this sous vide thing is really cool, and I totally want to get one. So we ended up playing some board games. And the funny thing is, man, board games are kind of fun. Like it was this, like you learn the rules. It takes a while, but the guys were real straight up. One of them drove a Harley, but they were all like, I don't know, real like nice guys, and like would say thank you and like pick up each other's plates for each other. It was an interesting group of guys, but like, I don't know, just they'd known each other forever.
Yeah.
I did bring some PlayStation games, so we played some video games. So we played a little bit of the SNES Classic, but I also brought the PlayStation All Stars for PS3.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
So that was a ton of fun. Out of all the games we played, it's basically like a Smash Brothers
Smash
ripoff.
Brothers clone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it doesn't
it?
do
Yeah.
the thing where you know how when you punch somebody, their percentage goes up, and then you know you're close to death. It doesn't do that, so you kind of don't know when you're close to death. But the special moves were like a ton of fun, and all the characters they had the Twisted Metal guy, they had Ratchet, they had, and all these guys.
Yeah.
That was a ton of fun. Like so
Nice.
much that I wish there was a way we could all like, play it. But I mean, when we go to Portland,
yeah.
probably
Portland, maybe.
we could bring out PS3, but I figure our Switches and stuff
Yeah,
would be the
Switch
thing to do. But we
Easiest.
also played Twisted Metal for PS3, which I never played because
Oh,
you really.
Is that black?
Yeah, I haven't played
Is
that
that
version.
black?
No, it's just
No,
called.
Black is this
Oh, they did do it. Yeah,
Black's on PS2.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
So I missed out on the old Twisted Metal. I don't know about you guys. I played Twisted Metal a little bit.
I played Twisted Metal 1 and Twisted Metal 2.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Oh,
what
I played
played.
Twisted Metal 1, 2, and 3 like hardcore. I
Yeah.
love those. But then after that, I got like when I played Black, I was like,
You're done.
I was sort of
Yeah.
done.
I
with
used to
it.
force a friend of mine in high school, Gus, to play Twisted Metal 2.
Really?
Yeah. We'd go over to his house.
Twisted
I'd be
Metal
like,
2
we
was
got to play
great.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to
I think
play
Twisted
this.
Metal 2 was when they debuted Axel.
Yeah.
Who's just like the little guy
that's
that's
it.
it's just a dude suspended between
On
two big
wheels.
tires.
Yeah.
Yep.
His name was very appropriate.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little tongue in cheek, I think, that guy.
Yeah, that was totally. I did like Sebastian Bash. He was on the short list. Was Axel? I was like,
Really?
"Aw,
Oh,
yeah,
man, that'd been- yeah.
because also Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Guns N' Roses.
wife vetoed it. But
Yeah,
that's okay.
you mentioned that Streets of Rage thing, and then she was like, cut it off right then, right?
No, it was just she thought it was. She was like, it's a car part or
Yeah,
something like that. So
yeah.
I get, but like every name, if you think about it, you can make it really stupid.
Yeah, you
no
can
matter what
turn
the name
any
is,
name
right?
into anything. Yeah.
It's all what you like. Shoot, name your kid sassafras or mayonnaise.
Could have been like it's an integral part of Oregon Trail. Axle.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I should name it. What is it? Wagon tongue or something.
Yeah.
Oxen. Ferry boat. Hire an Indian is the middle name. But anyway, yeah, the game night thing was a ton of fun, and hopefully we'll have a couple more for the PRGE. But let's talk about this PSX Mini Classic. What do you guys say? We'll just talk about it a little bit. Round table. How about surprise fact? I was surprised this came out. I wasn't like thinking it was.
I was not surprised.
Okay.
I was super not surprised.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because every time Nintendo does something, you wait 6 months, and then Sony does the exact same thing. It's been that way for decades now.
All right. Yeah,
true.
you're right. PlayStation did come out with a handheld system with a screen in the middle of it 5 years after it
No,
should have came out.
Nintendo came out with an analog controller. PlayStation came out with an analog controller.
True.
Nintendo came out with a Rumble Pack. PlayStation came out with a Rumble Pack.
True. But actually,
motion and then the
Saturn,
move.
Saturn
Yeah.
had that analog controller first.
Nintendo came out with a motion controller.
Yeah.
PlayStation turned around and came out with a motion
true.
controller.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the peripherals and things play. I'm a PlayStation guy, but by and large, a lot of their peripherals and things that they do and stuff like this, Nintendo does it first, and then if it works,
for sure.
and then
This
if
would have
it-
never came out if there wasn't an NES Classic.
And then
before,
if,
for sure.
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
right.
yeah, they wouldn't have wasted, their
And
time
then
on that.
if Nintendo does it and it works and they make money, then Sony's like, well, we could make some money too.
Exactly.
And so then they end up
Our
doing
brand's
it, which is
awesome.
fine. I mean, it's fine, but like Nintendo is like the product tester for Sony. So yeah, I wasn't surprised when I saw it. I was like, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And the info that came out. So the PSX for me, I had that system back in the day. I had the big one. I didn't have the mini. I remember getting it and loving the heck out of it. How much that system holds up today?
That's what I'm a little curious on. It might be pretty cool to have it on HDMI. Maybe cleans it up. They clean it up a little bit.
It depends on what kind of game.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of games and everything, too.
All the 2D sprite stuff holds up really well. I feel like.
Let's do a
Yeah.
quick overview. Sorry, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
what is this thing? I at least know. Okay, it's coming out in December.
Yep.
It has 20 games loaded into it. They were specific enough to say at first they kind of made it seem like you could load more,
Yeah.
but they clarified and meant 20 games for sure. They've
I
only
think it's kind of weird that they've only released 5 names at least.
Yeah,
it's
that's
slow-
sort of
slow
weird.
roll.
Slow roll.
You think so?
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
I
think
think
that's-
slow roll.
Yeah, we'll
normal.
know before it comes out. but,
Sure.
yeah.
The 5 games being some pretty big hitters or heavy
Yeah.
hitters or whatever. Final Fantasy VII, which is the one
Nice.
everybody's
Yeah.
probably the most
I'm
jealous
not a Final
for.
Fantasy fan,
That's
but they
cool.
got to have that.
The
on
Final
there.
Fantasy VII is an aside. I've replayed it somewhat recently, not aged particularly well in my opinion.
Okay.
But still, it's a classic. Jumping Flash, which is
That's
actually
cool.
That's actually the one I'm the most excited about, and I'm interested to see if it holds up or not. Because I remember when Jumping Flash came out, it wasn't Mario 64, wow, but it was one of the first 3D games
It
I
was
ever
crazy.
played where it was
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is so
Yeah.
cool, And it was actually on like one of the first PlayStation demo discs that
Yep.
I ever remember
that's
getting
how I
my
played it.
hands on.
Yep.
Ridge Racer Type 4, which is, arguably the best or one of the best racing games,
Yeah.
on PS1. Tekken 3, which is also kind of a classic
Fighting game, yeah.
fighting game, and then Wild Arms, which a lot of people kind of has a niche sort of diehard fan base.
Yeah. So there's 15 games left that come out. This thing is $100, right? $99.99, right?
Yep.
Or
Yep.
90 or
Yep.
100. It comes with 2
$99.99.
controllers, but it doesn't come with 2 dual shocks, right?
Yep,
They're
just the
trying to
regular
save money,
controllers.
so
Yep.
that means some games that really like Ape Escape, honestly, Metal Gear Solid to an extent, because of the rumble. There's a few things. I mean, Metal Gear Solid hopefully is on that sucker. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it just because you can always cancel a pre-order if you don't want it.
I've pre-ordered as well.
Yeah. And it's HDMI, which will be interesting because the PlayStation and PS2 don't look good on HD TVs, and obviously there's going to be emulation. There's no little discs in there as much as I would want that, and it has save
Wouldn't it be
states.
awesome if there was 20 little quarter-sized discs inside of the thing?
Mini discs or something.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, Sony revives mini discs to make the PS1 mini work.
Choking hazard. It's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza thrower or something.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet.
Yeah. So I pre-ordered it. There's some I love a Saturn one. N64 Classic. We talked about that.
Jaguar CD.
Yeah, we should listen.
One game, here
The
you go.
system no one wants.
Yeah.
People are really thinking it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be PSX versus N64. There's a lot of people kind of saying that this N64 Mini Classic, because there's another patent that came out closer that doesn't look like it was a kind of virtual console-y thing like what happened last time when everybody guessed this. And you can listen back to our episode, and if that thing gets released, it'd be fun to go back and see what we guessed
got right.
and what would be right. But we were thinking, I think 18 or 20 games or that kind of thing. But it'd be great if both those suckers came out. I just wonder how they get the 64 controller. But
and you would have to have multiple controllers on that dang thing too. Like you just can't.
You'd have to have 4. Yeah.
I would think you would have to have 4. So now that I think about the list might actually be about 10 games, 10 to 15. Now that I think about
we
it,
did think actually. I think we did actually guess 12 or 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but now
I can't remember now.
we'll
Yeah.
see. So we've got 15 left that they're going to roll out, and so that comes out to what, $5 a game.
Yeah.
So you're already kind of making money. Ridge Racer Type 4, I don't know how much that goes for. Probably not a lot.
$5-10.
But the age, too. So we got to think nostalgia, right? So younger than us, right? That really grew up and their Nintendo was this PlayStation. You're talking like 25, 26-year-olds.
Yeah, it's almost their sweet spot.
Yeah,
it's
and
almost there.
A lot of people love the play. I mean, that's everybody calls a PlayStation now a PlayStation because of how it started, right? And that system is pretty revolutionary. Everybody knows the story about how Sony and Nintendo were going to make that system.
Yep.
That lucky,
That one lucky
yeah.
guy.
That guy. I hope he's in Portland. I'm not sure yet.
He is.
I'm sure he will.
He is.
Oh,
I saw.
you did.
Yeah,
He's
it will
nice
be
dude.
there again.
Yeah.
Terry Diebold, shout out to you. We're gonna come see you. I had that system in my car, so I already feel like I could put that on my gravestone. He takes that sucker all around the world. He was in Europe last week or something
Man,
like that, and
that thing is
everybody
traveling.
has touched that sucker. It's got a lot of oils on it, but he's all about it. Play the sucker, and you know what? For being a prototype system, how many hours he has that thing plugged in straight for every con, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's working fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing good.
He'll never sell it too. But anyway, back to this PlayStation. Any other throw something out there? Any other thoughts about this little thing? We kind of talked, like Adam was saying, is Sony jumping on the bandwagon? Do we think it'll sell? Do we think this thing will
Yes.
sell?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
enough PlayStation people. I mean, of
a-
course, there's enough PlayStation people, but
it is $100. That's not 60. So it's a little more than that. We're
think
talking
it's
the average. How about this? It's not a ton of money, but I'm saying impulse buy. It kind of pulls a little bit of the impulse.
it's a little
buy.
far from an
I think if
impulse buy.
they're on the shelf around Christmas time,
That's
a
what I was
lot
gonna
of people
say.
are going to
Sure.
buy this thing.
They'll get them
you
as
know?
gifts.
I just think guarantee home run if you would have kept it around like 80 range to 70. I know that's not a huge difference, but if you would have kept it around that $80 to $75 range, it would have.
See, I wonder
Man,
almost
really
if they
impulse
could
buy.
manufacture enough in that time to even suffice, because they sell Nintendo's selling them at 60. I don't think they could even make enough to create that demand. So they should have probably raised their price, in my opinion.
In my opinion,
just
they could have got more
because they could have easily gotten 80 for that original NES.
Original
system.
NES, yeah, and then
No
they should have
problem.
charged 100 for the SNES 2 controllers. I think people.
You guys,
would
we
have
are
paid it.
consumers.
I know,
I know,
but
but
you know
that
what I'm
was the
saying.
real-
The
that-
demand was so overwhelming for
Yeah.
it that
Right.
it really. I mean, it was
People
it
would
was
have bought them at those.
Yeah, and
a
I
great
think
deal.
I think it remains to be seen, as far as what the other 15 games are.
And that's maybe
true.
a reason why it's at that price point, because maybe they have to pay for these licensing.
Right.
They
I
need
think
to get
they
the
might get
Konami
them.
license.
Well, and just looking at the list here, Final Fantasy VII, that's a Square Enix game.
Yep.
Jumping
for that.
Flash, I'm not even sure who the developer on Jumping Flash is. Ridge Racer Type 4 is a Namco game. Tekken 3 is a Namco game. Wild Arms, I'm not sure who the developer is on that, but I'm pretty sure it's not Sony.
Yeah.
So these games, and including Jumping Flash, I may be mistaken, but I think all of these are non-Sony developed.
Yeah.
games.
Jumping Flash might be, but
So-
I'm not for sure, right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain, but,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying if everything on it ends up being licensed, that may well be the issue.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
to put out those 5, it kind of makes sense. They have like 1 or 2, like for sure. The big one is Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously they weren't going to put their top 5 in there anyway. So how about we go around the room? Let's say like we could do like what our wish list is, but what do we think is maybe going to be on there? I'll just start because like Metal Gear Solid.
Yes, you got to have that on
That game
there.
is so good, and it does hold up. But Metal Gear Solid, like I have great memories in my buddy's basement playing that sucker and playing against Psycho Mantis and having to turn the controller upside down. Or no, we had to plug the controller in port 2. Wait a sec, how are they going to do that?
I'll tell you what's crazy. I played through Metal Gear Solid about a year ago, and I had a save file for Castlevania Symphony of the Night on there, which is another Konami game.
Yep.
But Psycho Mantis goes, "Oh, you like Castlevania, don't you?"
Oh,
And starts
wow.
talking to you about the save files that
That's
are on
cool.
you. Like
That's
if you have other
crazy.
save files from other Konami games on your card,
Yep.
he starts talking to you in Metal Gear Solid about the other Konami games
That's
you've been
crazy.
playing.
Yes, I
Wow.
forgot about that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That is cool. I bet there's a YouTube video out there that has like all his.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know
comments.
what all he'll respond to, but yeah, he definitely could tell I'd been playing some Castlevania.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you said, what was the other game you said? You said you just mentioned
Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night. I
Yeah.
feel like
Man,
that should
that'd
be
be
on
awesome.
now that if that is on there,
I think Metal Gear would be
I
on
now
there
don't
too,
care
right?
about the what'd you say?
I figure if Metal Gear's on there, they would have
Yeah.
Castlevania.
Yeah.
They might as
Yeah.
well get them all.
If
Yeah,
Metal
right.
Gear and Castlevania, I'm
Konami's.
done complaining about the.
Well, the one
price.
game that I really want to see on it, and I actually think there's a very high likelihood that it's on there because 2 of the games that are already announced are Namco games. And all of the games that have been announced are kind of adultish sort of games, other than Jumping Flash.
Sure.
But I think Klonoa is going to show up.
Ooh, that'd be nice because I'd like that to jump down in price.
Well, Klonoa is about $150.
Yep.
And it's a super solid game.
It is.
It has mass appeal.
Yep.
It's a great game. All
right.
So I think that there's a real good likelihood we're going to see Klonoa. At least that's the
I
one that
hope
I'm
so.
kind of hoping for.
All right, what else we got? Shane,
Twisted Metal.
Okay,
Twisted
yeah, good,
Metal.
good.
Please.
Twisted. Do you think they'll do 1 and 2? Or
I think
just-
they'll probably do 2. Would be my
I
guess.
think they probably just do 2. Yeah,
The
in my
2,
opinion.
you mean the second
Yeah,
game?
the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish they would do both of them because I mean, different games. I mean, they both have a different kind of feel to them. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have like the extra like power ups on the second one. The first one's more like dry. Like
Right.
have to go pick up the power ups. So I'd like to have both, but
Yeah.
do 2 if you got to.
And you were saying Klonoa, I was also saying mascot-wise, even though they did the re-release, I mean, Crash Bandicoot.
Why
Yeah, I was
not?
about
I
to
mean,
say
Well,
that.
and if we're going to go along the line of mascots, I think Parap is probably a shoe in
yeah. See, I didn't
because
Yep.
that's a Sony owned property too.
Yep.
So
Might as
So-
well.
I'd say Spyro too.
Yeah, Spyro would be almost as,
Do it,
yes,
yeah.
but like how many of them would they have? Like if they had so
Probably
far, we're
Probably
at
won't.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're at 12 games. If they had this 12, that's still 8. But again, it's like, what else are they going to pick here? Another RPG? The Sudoku?
You know what game I
yeah,
liked?
maybe. I mean, those are Konami games. If they
Yeah.
start bringing Konami on board, I mean,
I was a big fan of Gran Turismo too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Gran Turismo will definitely be. on
I
there.
really like
Yeah.
that game.
The music was big in that game. Though.
Yeah.
So music license would probably be gone.
Yeah,
I could
that
see him
might not
doing
be on there.
GT2 instead of 1, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
2 is so
I think-
much better.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I like
just
I
like
think
Tekken
2 will
3.
probably be on it.
Yeah. So let's say Gran Turismo 2. Let's keep going. It's just whatever.
I think there's got to be some sort of a 2D fighter on here.
Oh.
And honestly, the 2D fighter that I would like to see, it won't happen, but is Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
But one of the
that'd be
Capcom,
awesome.
X-Men versus Street Fighter, or even something weird like Rival Schools would be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That
you
see, I
know?
could see that more
But-
than anything. Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, I think maybe again, we haven't seen any Capcom games on it yet. And as far as platformers go, Capcom, I think Mega Man X4 would be kind of a shoe in too if they're bringing Capcom
Yep.
games on. But
I'd like to see some 2D on there, so that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
well, the 2D games have aged the best. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what that's kind of what I think is. It'd be great to see some of those games because there's been kind of a reversion back to the 2D games, and those are the ones that are most playable. I mean, a lot of people are going to say things like Tomb Raider, for instance.
I know.
But if you go back and try to play the original Tomb Raider or Tomb Raider
it's
2
tough.
or Tomb
It's
Raider
tough.
3, they are kind of tough to play.
Some Resident Evil, man. Get a Resident Evil on there, something.
Yeah, again, Capcom.
Yeah,
Resident
Resident.
Capcom on there.
Okay, so Resident Evil. Do you think they would do 1 and 2? That is one where if they did 1 and 2,
It seems like one they just like to throw out there,
Yeah,
so one would be the easiest.
Yeah, if there's some way they could do 1, 2, and Nemesis,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
that'd be
think
nice.
I
won't happen. But
Yeah.
I could see them putting in a Resident Evil for sure.
I think if they're gonna do Resident Evil, they're gonna do
I think it would
Resident
be
Evil. The
it would be
original.
sort of funny if they
or
would.
director's cut maybe.
Yeah, or DC. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be funny if they did like just an FMV game, just for the heck of it.
Oh man,
Fox
Hunt.
Hunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Fox Hunt. What's
Still-
that?
I'm
What's that
still
one?
mad I
Snow,
turned
Snow
that in.
Job or whatever.
Excuse me?
Is it a game called Snow Job? That's an FMV game. Am I making that up?
No,
I'm not familiar with it.
I don't know.
That sounds-
I think
I
that
don't-
was in the DVD behind the curtain.
I think I'm thinking. I'm thinking of Fox Hunt. I think I'm thinking of the old ad for Fox Hunt.
Oh
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
you're right.
Yeah. So let me kind of count some up. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, okay. We said Sudoku, so 12, 13, 14, 15. We're up to like 16, 17, including both Resident Evils.
Is there any? We don't have any sports games on there
That's
yet. Do we?
what I was
you
gonna
sort
say.
of got to get some sports
NBA
games.
Oh, I got a good one. Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
Tony Hawk game.
Dude,
Tony
you gotta
Hawk
get-
2 or
But the thing with
3,
that, though,
whatever.
is
I don't
you
care
were
which
talking
one.
about licensing on
Yeah,
that.
I know the music.
Yeah, there's a
music,
ton
I
of music in
know.
those games.
That
Yeah.
would-
I know, but
rough.
it would be awesome. It's probably not on there, but
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do Neversoft games, Tony Hawk and the old Spider-Man.
Well, hold on.
Man.
Hear me out on that. The Tony Hawk, though, they did do that recent re-release, and they recently did redo a lot of licenses. So if they
true.
still have
Really?
some of those, let's just say Tony Hawk has a quarter of the music. I mean, it had a ton of music.
Yeah.
That would be a possibility. What was another one someone just said after Tony Hawk? Someone said,
Spider-Man. The
Spider-Man.
OG Neversoft
Yeah.
Spider-Man, man. It's a good
Never
game.
played that before. Yeah.
that's a real good game.
Really?
I have it for
Okay.
Dreamcast. Boy, it's a real good game. It's kind of arcadey, but it's the first time I think a Spider-Man game was good, and then not a good one for a long time. Has
Yeah.
anybody even played the new one? I know we were talking about
I
it.
know.
I can't wait to
I
play
want
it
to.
in
I was
2022.
So close
Yeah.
to getting that special edition, but I didn't get it.
yeah. Did you get the 500 popped up 2 days ago, right?
So. Nope. My app locked
I
up.
almost
man.
bought it for one of you guys because I figured you would have wanted it,
Yeah.
and I
I'd
had
have paid
there.
you back if you had bought it.
I know,
but-
I know you would have. So I just didn't know if you were wanting it. Or I should have just bought it because I had a feeling by the time I would text you guys.
My
if you were
problem is
You
that there-
sold
I
me
keep
on-
seeing things I want, but then I'm like, I'm going to Portland there in a couple of
Right,
weeks.
right.
I need to, you
Yeah.
know.
right.
That's
True.
That's why I didn't pop on that.
True.
You know what
Spider-Man
game-
one.
Oh, sorry.
No.
You know what a game a lot of people liked was the Silent Hill games.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
could,
that's
I,
a
could,
good
I could see people wanting
Konami
that to be on
again.
there.
The Konami
Mm-hmm.
again. So you
Si-
really got to get Konami
Silent
on board.
Hill would be great.
You know,
but-
and since
but-
we're talking, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say Silent Hill would be great, but I think it Resident. This is not turning
true.
into a kid thing.
Yeah,
anymore.
you're gonna have to put
Yeah, if you
immature on
want,
this
if you
thing.
want, well, but play
Crash and
PS1. I
Spyro.
mean, part of the thing that made PS1 so popular is that they didn't market to little kids. Really, they
true.
marketed a lot more to teenagers and young adults. And since Square Enix,
Bloody
there's
roar.
there's
Yeah.
already a Square Enix on here. I think Parasite Eve, may not be a bad pick
Oh, yeah.
either.
That's
to
a dark
be
horse,
on
but
there.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be really cool to see Parasite Eve on there.
Yeah. What sport? Okay, you said Tony Hawk for sport. I feel like they're gonna have to have one more sports game. Anybody think?
more
Like,
sports
okay, so they didn't have the NHL hits. They had the game days were pretty pop, but they're never gonna put one of those on there.
I was trying to think of that. I mean, surely it's got a version of NBA Jam or NBA Hang Time or one of those.
I
on
feel
there.
it may be hang time, but not
I don't
jam.
think Jam, yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
ESPN Sports
you know what my favorite-
Jams Downhill.
My favorite
remember that
PlayStation
game?
1 sports game was actually College Hoops.
Oh, yeah.
It was NBA Jam just with college teams.
Yeah, that was a good version.
Yeah, it was a
that was a good version
game.
of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can get it for
It was better
$1,
than the Super Nintendo
I
version,
had
in
it
my
for-
opinion.
I had it
but-
for Saturn.
Oh, really?
Actually, as a
Nice.
kid, yeah. So yeah, we're up to a lot. Okay, real quick. What about? It's not going to go on there, but I would love it to go on there. I'm going to say Bust a Groove. I love that game. I would love Bust a Groove 1 and 2 on there. It's not going to happen. But that game, I remember seeing it as a demo in Funko Land when I was a kid, and I was like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!"
Yeah,
Right.
Jammer Lamey.
Oh, come on. Come on.
It won't be on there. Actually, I would really like it to be on there. I've always wanted to play it, and I've never played it.
Yeah. What about you, Shane?
I'm trying to think. Was Teed Off? No, Teed Off was.
It's Hot Shots Golf.
Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that was
that's-
kind of popular.
Oh,
I wasn't a
Was
huge
that
fan.
on PS1 though?
No,
that
it
was PS2.
No,
Was
it was
PS1.
PS1.
Okay,
You-
was it
that's
PS1?
actually
Sorry,
that's-
they made so many of those.
No,
so it got lost.
That's a good idea. I think Hot Shots Golf, the
That'd
original,
be a good one.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, that's a
played.
fun game.
I played
really
Hot
fun
Shot.
game.
Yeah, it holds up. Yeah. That's real good. Yeah.
Better than any Mario Golf game.
I don't know. And then there's some weird, like, we haven't really mentioned any puzzle games. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get a
Bust
puzzle
Gro-
in there.
They might put a Bust
Bust
a
a
Groove
move.
on there.
Yeah.
They have to do a.
Yeah.
You're right. You're very right. They have to do a puzzle game.
They
for
gotta
sure.
do a puzzle
Yeah,
game.
there will have to be at least one puzzle game.
Yeah,
Just put one of the Tetrises on there.
Tetris Worlds. Boom.
Tetris Worlds. Okay. Yeah.
Dino Crisis. That was a pretty popular game.
Yeah, actually,
Capcom,
Dino.
another Cap-
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Dino
you gotta
Crisis
have
works.
res if you're gonna have that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this off the
That'll
cuff. I'm
definitely be
sure
on
you're gonna forget something blatantly obvious, but like those are all. I think.
Yeah, I think I can't think of really anything else that just has to be on there. Tony Hawk is one like
They're gonna
that,
have
you
to
said
do
that
one.
has to be on there.
Yeah, for sure.
God,
And that'd be fun.
That's so
man.
PlayStation.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Okay, yeah, that's kind of our thoughts on that sucker. It'd be fun for that thing to come out in the
Yeah.
64, and then what are they going to get to the 2 and the 3? Yeah,
Do a Sega Saturn, that'd be awesome.
It would be cool if they did a
Yes.
Saturday.
yeah, that's a
Please.
pipe. That's a pipe
Pipe
dream,
dream,
but that
yes.
would be friggin' awesome. Very good.
Do you think
yeah.
they'll ever make like version 2s with like different, completely set of different games for these things?
Ooh.
Like
Maybe.
maybe
Yeah,
like
I
go,
think
they'll
they
go
could.
back to the NES
Yeah,
and be like,
I
hey,
think
we're going to
they
give
could.
you
Well, there was-
20 new games. I could see them doing that
Yeah,
after
I
a
could
while.
see it.
Yeah.
There's rumor on this one that there's something on the bottom. Weren't you saying there's something on the bottom that you could add on to this? Not
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's what I've heard. Is there's some kind of weird port somewhere and
Huh.
maybe add on or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
It's a good segue to this next little segment that I'm going to do when you said a second version. This is something you guys might not have heard about, but it's been kind of leaked and breaking news. I'm going to get your hot takes on this.
Rumor alert.
Rumor alert. And you guys will, we want to talk about it. Nintendo is going to make a revised Switch, and it is official, and it's coming out next year.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
Adam-
I mean, they should.
Adam again calling it out immediately.
I think they should.
Well, they
yeah.
revised their hardware, especially handhelds. I mean, there's 4,000 versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
that's
just
true.
they actually, it's going to happen. There are absolutely no leaks as far as what they're going to do outside of. They said they wanted this this console generation to go a little bit longer, right? The Switch, more than their 5 years that they've done. So probably not 10, but maybe 7. So this would be in line for a redo. And also they've said that they haven't really leaked what they're going to change about it, but they need the idea was, and what kind of leaks is what the Switch was awesome the first year, especially fourth quarter. Super Mario Galaxy had a lot to do with that. Spiked did a lot this last quarter. Not so good. It's kind of so they want
it's
their kind of spokesperson said this came out on the like New England Wall Street Journal dropped this first, and they said Nintendo wants to stay competitive, so that is part of the refresh. They've seen like, oh, we had a down quarter. Our stocks at Raise have now leveled off. We've got to hit the Switch hard again. They're going to have the what is it? The Smash Brothers will sell a lot. That'll bump them up back to a nice.
Yeah, I've actually been trying to fight to not order the special edition Smash
Get it.
Switch.
Get it. Just
It's
do
super
it.
cool looking.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
It comes with a digital copy though. That's the thing. If it came with the
don't
physical
really?
game,
don't get that. Don't
totally
get that
would get it. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy it. Get the digital.
They've already confirmed though they will not change the screen to like an OLED. The LCD display is of a lower quality. Even the Wall Street Journal kind of said that they are not going to change that. But we kind of don't know. Is it going to be slightly bigger? Is it going to have different functionality? We're not sure. They're definitely going to revise it, and it's coming out. So stay tuned for that.
I think if they just made it a little bit smaller and then without the detached Joy-Cons,
I bet
have a
they-
second version, that'd be awesome.
I bet they do
Seriously,
two
it's smaller.
versions. I bet they make a micro and I bet they make an XL.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I bet they do both.
What
I bet
about-
they-
With,
I
for
bet they
kids though,
split-
man, it is really rough with the Joy-Cons because those Joy-Cons are really touchy. So you could lock them out of place, like especially that right hand side. Like you could lose that latch because it gets busted a little bit, and then it comes off really easy. Like if you just shake it in your hand. I think they're gonna make one that's just attached to it, but hopefully they make it that
you
way,
mean-
and then you could throw it on the dock or something still.
I hear what you're saying, but the whole push for the Switch is, oh, here, have this controller, and we pop this open, and we do this tiny. Well, how about this? This kickstand has got to get better. But the taking off that's the Switch. It switches, so I don't think they're going to take off the controllers. But it's a thought of like.
But that's my
cost
thought
saving.
though, is you do that and then not throw in the what is that, the base, the home base also. You could cut prices on that like hardcore. I mean, you could start selling that thing at probably like $200.
Oh, so you're saying, but yeah, you're saying kind of like a.
If they're not revising hardware, then couldn't you like sell that thing for like $200? You know, pretty dang cheap.
Yeah, I don't think they're going for like a cost cutting like plastic mode one. I hear what you're saying,
but you get what I'm saying though. Like that's what I would want with it, just for like my son's sake, because we're having troubles with the Joy-Cons. So I guess that's my wish list. I guess I'm throwing out there.
They'll add Wii U backwards compatibility. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, they already did. They already did.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
The whole library
They
is
were just
already on there.
releasing
Oh
all
my
the
god.
games, yeah. Thus making my collection even that much more stupid.
Yes, I'm a little. You know what? The past like 3-4 months, I've been really ticked off at Nintendo for that. It's like everything just keeps coming out for me.
I
It's
don't
like,
mind it.
I
honestly.
mind it because it's just like it's a really slap in the face that I bought that system now. They really did that to me.
Donkey Kong Country. I just know like right now it's like still a $60 game, but the Wii U one is like $7, $8, and
Tropical
And it's
Freeze
a
is
great game on the Wii U,
actually.
so,
I love it.
like-
Yeah, it's a super good game.
It's one of the few games I beat on the Wii U.
Yeah.
I mean, I
It's a
didn't like
good game.
100% complete it, but
And
you know,
that-
I got like all the main
That
things.
Hello Kitty Cruisers and
Yeah, I don't have Hello Kitty Cruisers, but
You
I was at the store and did see a price tag of $150 on it a couple days ago.
that's
yeah,
kind of crazy.
So if
yeah.
anyone's interested, vintage stock in Kansas City.
yeah, don't go there.
Yeah.
My guess is that they revise it to make a smaller, more pocket-sized version, and they
Mm-hmm.
also make an XL version. That would be my guess.
Okay. What about the games? I'm thinking about that. And my instant thought is it's already on a small screen, and some of the games, you know, let's say all the logos and everything are meant for a screen that size. If you shrink it, it's kind of like the GBA had big fonts and stuff all the time. When you blow it up on GameCube, you're like, why are these fonts so big? Oh yeah. That's my only thought about if they make it smaller.
Yeah.
But then again, it can go smaller. It's a big screen.
Yeah.
It is a very
It
big
can
screen.
go smaller. You could always work it.
But anyway, Adam, keep going. What
Well,
were you saying?
I mean, to me, it would make sense to have one to be like you call it the Switch Go or something like that. But it's a pocket size, you know, about the size of an iPhone or whatever else. You can. It's just more portable,
Gotcha.
basically, and then you have another one for the house.
Kind of like Vita size almost.
Yeah, you know, one that's Vita, or maybe even
little
original
bit bigger.
PSP size,
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
something like that.
What about the 3DS though? They're getting into that territory.
Well, they're going to kill the 3DS with
They're
this
gonna
hardware
kill it.
revision.
They
Okay.
gotta kill it.
Yeah, they're going to have to kill
But
it.
then I
eventually.
hope if your guess is right and it gets smaller, let's not make these Joy-Cons any dang smaller because I'll break it out.
That's
No,
what I'm saying.
no, I
There's-
think the
you
I think the
cannot
small I think
do
the
that.
smaller version, the trade off is going to be that you either have to use, you know, detached controllers.
Yeah.
If you're going to play multiplayer, or they're attached. You know,
That's
they're
what I'm
just gonna be
saying.
too
It makes
small.
sense. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, my name is a whole. It's the Switch. So it switches into the thing and after that, then it's
Yeah,
not.
and
a Switch
maybe
anymore.
they'll do a, you know,
But then still, even if you didn't have those Joy-Cons, you could still switch it into portable mode because you could do a kickstand on the back and then have like a controller.
and
with
they might
you.
do it. They
You
might
know,
do an
that's-
upgrade for, you know, increased resolution, you know, for television compatibility or something like that. You know, add 4K or something, you know,
Yeah.
along those lines.
Probably just
But-
add more battery life.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah. Watch it just be like a iPhone to iPhone. It'll be slightly better, but
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
You can unlock it with your face. That'll be it.
Like smashing your face up again?
No, like the
I'm
iPhone, like
just
the
messing
iPhone
with
10. You
I
just
know.
you just look at it. And I have an iPhone 10, and it's kind of amazing to me. It doesn't matter, and I'm not even sure if the technology on that's like legits, because it doesn't matter if I wear my glasses or not. Doesn't matter if I have a hat on or not. It doesn't matter if I have a beard or not. It still recognizes me.
Really?
It's pulling
So
your
I-
DNA off your skin.
Yeah, I mean, there's something else. I think it may be taking a little blood sample from me.
Yeah, stabs you.
Every
This
time
is-
it's unlocking,
Felt the
because I'm
brick
always
in
like,
your pocket.
yeah, I'll be like, no way it's gonna work, and it'll work. Yeah.
This is funny. This is why I'm pulling an Adam thing on you. You know, Android did that 7 years ago. Like my Evo recognized
yeah, but
my
it was
face.
way less cool when Android did it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, it was more just like I need to turn this
didn't have
off
that-
because it's annoying.
I sound like an Apple guy. I'm actually not. I hate the iPhone. The problem is I'm
kinda
part of
used
the
to it.
I'm part of the Apple ecosystem. Where I used to work, I had to have Apple products to be compatible with
Gotcha,
work.
yeah.
And during that time, I bought like my movies and music and blah 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 blah. So it's
You're hooked.
Well, I'm not. It's a. If there was a way to get away from Apple, I would. But at this point, I can't.
I'm too into you.
He got you in the bear trap.
Apple. Yeah, Apple is like. There's too many strings attached. I just can't get away from it.
I mean, they're smart. You know, if you think, I'm thinking my kid's third word was apple, right? They,
Yep.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like he's so dang smart from the grave. He's thinking like, oh, kids, what's it? We could call it ball.
Yep.
We could call it mama. No, let's call it apple.
Apple.
Yeah. Boom. I
Got
digress.
him. Got him from that.
Not
young.
being serious there, new listeners. I'm just throwing out a bad joke. You know, something we didn't put, let's throw this in there as a quick segment if you guys want to. The online Nintendo Switch
Oh, yeah,
or their Nintendo online service real quick. It is what, $60 for a year?
No.
50, 30?
No,
Not
it's
that-
34.
Yeah.
Okay.
$34 for a year
something
for
like
a
that,
family
yeah.
plan. Sorry.
I actually have not bought it during all this move. I have.
oh,
no,
dude, I got you a free code.
Well,
Here
I
you
know,
go.
but I have no interwebs. all my
Yeah.
interwebs are gone. I still don't have.
I might be joining your family, Shane.
All right.
Yeah, I've.
I sent you guys.
Yeah,
the
no,
text.
I've gone back in time. Yeah, but after I get my phone, I'd love to be your kid.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you buy a family plan, I don't quote me on this. This is rough, but I think it's 6 to 8 codes that you could sort of give out to people.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then
Until they
get the
figure out we all
benefits.
have consistently different IP addresses.
Yeah,
or-
pretty much,
yeah.
and then they'll cut that off. But
But
Every
they would
kid's
have
got a
to-
Switch.
They would have to think people are going to do the Netflix thing. Yeah, I got your code, Shane. Thank you. And it made me actually turn on my Switch.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't done that
and
in
you
a
got the
long time.
games and everything. You got the NES games.
Yes, I had to upload to the nearest firmware and everything. And then
Yeah.
also something else, my Switch 2 is, you know, for not using that hardware very often, it sure is pesky. I got a really normal first party memory card.
Uh-huh.
And when I load a game onto a memory card now, it just like doesn't work or it doesn't load. And it's been happening to a lot. And it's like, maybe I got a dummy card, but like it was a
That's
Samsung
weird, yeah.
from Amazon.
haven't-
And it drives me crazy. So now I pulled the card out and I'm just running off the memory and because I would download the whole thing.
Yeah, I've used a couple of
wonder if it's
mine. Haven't had
memory
any
card,
issues.
yeah.
So.
Okay, so maybe it is just a bad card. I hope it's not a bad port and not a bad whatever.
I bet
but-
bad memory card or something. Just
Okay,
being tricky.
It's a
for you.
256, I think, or gigabyte.
Yeah.
it's a good size one.
I'm right on the border. I think I only have like I have like megs left of like memory.
Well, the
I
funny thing
have
is,
to
even
get
if
a
you're
memory
using
card.
a card,
Luckily,
it
it
still
was cheap.
uses a
It was
little
like
bit of
6. I
system
know.
memory. So I've actually got it to where my system memory, even I've got so many on the card, so many games downloaded on it that my system memory, I still have to delete crap out of it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's
yeah.
filled up. So
Sorry, I didn't mean to pull from that, but yeah, it's so what all does it get? It gives you online functionality.
Online functionality, and then it gives you access to some old NES games.
Yeah, like 16 of them, I think, right now to start.
It's 20.
Oh,
Was
is
it
it
20 or
20?
30
Okay.
range? I don't know.
Okay,
I guess I should have looked, but yeah, 20 to 30 range.
yeah, let's play games online. You know.
Yeah, it lets you play those games online, which is really cool. Like you can play play all the old games,
Well,
like
it's not
Mario.
I
That's
mean,
awesome.
Am I mistaken? I mean, it's like PS4, right? Where you basically have to have Plus to be able to play multiplayer online games. And,
Yes.
all that
So
sort
pretty
of
much
thing,
they
so.
implemented that you got to
Yeah, or
pay
I mean,
to
Xbox
play.
same way too. I mean, it's
Except for oddly, I think Fortnite, you don't have to have it to
Yes,
play
that's
online.
probably
I
not.
did see
that's
an
because
article.
if you want to sell hardware now, you have to support Fortnite.
apparently,
Yeah, they all bowed down.
That's the new universal rule.
bringing
Yeah.
PlayStation to their knees.
it's gonna be funny when all these kids grow up 30 years from now and like have nostalgia for Fortnite, and we'll be like 60 and we'll be like, "Arr!"
Fortnite's for babies.
yeah.
I don't know. I tried to play Fortnite a little bit actually on my Switch, and I gave up on it after about like 20 minutes.
It's
Yeah.
it's okay. It's just
like,
I'd
meh.
rather play PUBG. It's better, in my opinion.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
need a craft. I'd rather.
See, and I'd rather play like Balloon Fight or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See,
I think I'm actually going to get the new Call of Duty to play their new
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
battle
yeah.
royale style game. I think
They
it's called
do.
Black or something like that.
Yeah, so yeah, Call of Duty got into this too. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but and it's actually doing really well in their beta and everything.
Yeah.
They're actually saying like, oh, Call of Duty using their refined Call of Duty-ness that they've been doing forever, applying it to a battle royale.
yeah,
pretty
new
good.
game mode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty good. Yeah.
because
you'll have, like, the
essentially
standard game mode,
Fortnite is
too.
just a game mode. It's like they're not.
Right.
I mean, it's a game.
And
mode.
I-
Well, they do emotes and they.
I'm
they
still
Yeah,
waiting
they do their
for
thing.
Nintendo's version, Splatoon 3 Battle Royale. Yeah,
They were smart. They would.
I'm telling you, it's probably coming. It's probably where it's going to go.
the online also does cloud saves.
Oh, okay.
You could save to the cloud. So
Now, so if we're on a family plan, can I grab your cloud save?
no,
I don't know.
I think it sticks to yours. I'm
System?
not for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
it's your system type of deal.
And then also there's a couple NES controllers that come in a package for this
yeah,
as
but they're a
well.
little pricey, like $60 for 2 controllers.
Yeah, it's $60 for 2 regular NES controllers that hook up to your Switch, so it looks kind of funny, goofy, but they're meant to play these
They're
old
just
NES
meant to
games.
charge.
And
on
I
that,
actually
but
went
yeah.
through and played all these when I got that night. I spent like an hour kind of hopping through, and I was kind of like I wish it was like an emulator or something. I know you can hack it. Friend of the show there, Jake, has already hacked his Switch to be able to like play everything and opened it up, which is also okay. We didn't talk about that. The big reason for this revision, the Switch is like broken open because it's a hardware manipulation. So they could update the software to try to stop hackers like they did with the emulation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, well, unfortunately for Nintendo, but fortunately for hackers, if you have this first gen Switch-ish, you can hack this sucker and hard hack it that Nintendo would never be able to fix. I'm not a big super uber nerd, but all the uber nerds in this other group I'm in are talking about and love it.
Really? Yeah. I don't like hacking that early. Like if it's a system that's dead or something, I'll hack
Yeah.
it. But it's too early. I feel like I'm not talking crap on anybody.
Yeah,
but
you
you're
don't
sort of
ever-
taking money from people. I mean, essentially you are like old games, little different, but it's a little too early for me to do that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, for me, it's actually just I don't like manipulating my stuff
System,
because it'll
yeah.
break. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's more.
yeah,
I'm not as
I am too.
chivalrous as my reason. Mine's just like I don't want someone opening up my
And
damn Switch.
that's another reason for me also. So
Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Yeah, switching a little subjects from that a little bit. There's old school game. I know Shane loves this genre. I love this genre.
That's because Shane smash.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we are talking about the beat 'em up genre. We talked
Yes.
about Streets of Rage last night. We were all like, whatever. And then they announced release this Beatemups collection,
yes, it's
Beat 'em ups.
and it's a Capcom Beatemups
Yeah,
collection.
It's Capcom beat 'em ups. Yep.
And it's
total of how many games? How many got here?
Hold on, let me count. I think it's
Yeah,
six.
I haven't heard this. What console is this for?
Switch?
Oh, it's
Oh,
for the
it's-
Switch. Okay.
yeah.
and PS4.
5,
Yeah,
6.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
6
yes,
games.
it's everybody.
Okay.
Yep.
It is a physical release overseas, but not here, unfortunately.
Boo.
Yeah, is it everything's not here, right? Or is Switch here? I think
What's that?
everything's overseas.
Yeah, I think
physical.
everything's overseas. I could be mistaken. I know Switch is not North American for sure.
And they call it something else. Like instead of calling it,
It's
Beatemups.
called the Belt Collection, Belt Fighting Collection, something like
I
that.
think you sent me that or something. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No, I've pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the Japanese version.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's
I-
actually.
I mean, they're beat 'em ups, right? So
Yeah,
even if they're
you
in
don't
Japanese,
need-
who cares?
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Japanese Amazon was the cheapest I saw. It came out to
Yeah.
only like $23 or something like that. But
Nice.
I think it's Belt Fighting Games or something like that. That's what it's called, BELT.
yeah,
But
yeah. So it's interesting list of games. I freaking love beat 'em ups. What is the list there, Adam?
it is Final Fight,
Awesome.
Great.
which is the one on here that I'm the most familiar with and sort of the most jonesed about, I suppose.
Okay.
Captain Commando.
Okay.
I'm
Which
excited.
is what is going to be Michael's character when his family's out of town this weekend.
Sitting around his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are all arcade ports also.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
these are all.
So these
old-
are awesome.
Yeah, these are old school Capcom fighter port. Yeah,
The best
I mean, they're
versions of
yeah,
them,
they're
yes.
they're super cool. And Capcom actually had some really cool fighters or beat 'em ups that released in Japan that never came out here.
Yep. And there's a few of them on here.
But the King of Dragons,
Awesome.
Knights of the Round.
Very awesome. I have the Super
I'm excited
Nintendo.
for people to play that because I didn't play
Yeah.
that till I was an adult. So,
Cool game.
yep.
Yeah, when I seen it, I had to
Yeah,
get
most
it.
people.
Yep.
I mean, there's a Super Nintendo version. I'm actually not sure if it ever came out on any other systems. But that Warriors of Fate, which is another one I'm not.
I never
Not
played
familiar
that one
with that.
before. Yeah.
Armored Warriors.
Dude, Armored Warriors
Looks cool.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm excited. So, Warriors of Fate and Armored Warriors are the ones we're not as familiar with. Are
yeah.
actually like really good.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only seen gameplay, but
Okay.
Yeah, and Battle Circuit. Yeah, all
Yeah.
the games I've watched.
I
a little
played
bit
a little
of
bit of
gameplay
Battle
all of
Circuit.
these, yeah.
It's a little kooky, man. It's
Yeah.
good though. I
These
like
games
it.
all look cool to me, and they're all right up my alley. There's nothing better than like Saturday night Sit down with a beer.
Yep.
Let's just beat some crap up.
Yep.
You know?
And you could do it for 10 minutes or you could do it for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, these games are the best.
And
I mean,
especially with this, I mean, you have 6, all right there on your Switch.
It's very dad friendly.
it's dad friendly. Yeah,
That is
you
dad-
can pause it. You
That's
can
dad approved.
dad approved. Yeah, you can pause it, do some dadding for a minute, go
Yep.
back and beat some crap up.
Because
Yeah.
there's really no story to this.
No, yeah. You don't have
There
to get
is,
way
but
into
there
the
isn't.
plot.
It's like Double Dragon. The story is punch the girl in the face and then take her away. That's it. And then you're out and you come through a freaking garage door and you beat some people up and a guy comes out with a big bald head that looks like a baby and you kick his butt.
Yep.
And then you
Yep.
can fall down a hill and
You just keep kicking butt. That's
yeah,
all you do.
hill. Yep. Hell, sorry.
yeah, no, it's all these people have wronged you in some way, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
I'm still so excited about Streets of Rage, guys. Sorry. I know. we're
And a
still
lot
in
of
it.
these are online. You can play online together, correct? I think.
Oh,
So I believe
very
so.
cool. That would
I
be
haven't tested
super-
that out yet, but we're gonna have to do that.
I feel like this would be interesting. Like playing couch co-op, a beat 'em up is so fun.
Yes.
But then playing someone you don't know, it'll be kind of like, what was this AI guy? Well, how about this? Can you know how it says go?
Go,
What
and
if
they
this
don't
guy's
go.
like, I'm not
Yes.
going to go anywhere?
It might be a nightmare.
I will
Yes.
throw out a plug though.
That's something Michael
there's a
would do.
there's a series of hacked
That's a
games.
such
Has to
Michael
go to the
move.
bathroom.
There's a series of hacked games called Beats of Rage. Have you guys
Yeah.
seen this, played
Oh,
this
yeah.
or whatever? There's a whole bunch of different versions. There's Killer Instinct versions. I think there's Resident
yeah.
Evil
Oh, yeah,
versions. There's versions
Ninja
that
Turtles,
use
yeah.
Ninja
Simpsons.
Turtles or Simpsons or SNK Fighters or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you want to have a little bit of fun with like a Beats of Rage, or a Streets of Rage sort of hacked kind of mashup game, that's actually really fun to play.
Yeah.
Beats of Rage is pretty cool to scratch this itch
I'll have
too.
to check it out.
Now that I think about it, this might be a nightmare online because just imagine if you could hit each other, and you got some a-hole that's just gonna hit
Oh
you.
no,
the
you
whole
never
time.
choose game type B, dude.
Yeah.
It's-
What happens if you just accidentally? This would
Yeah,
be a
I
nightmare.
never
I
do
would just
that.
reset right away, man. Turn
me,
power off. I'm
me
done.
and my brothers, there were some siblings nearly died, putting it on type B.
I would
That's
always do
funny.
it by accident. My brother would get so mad at me. I'm like, dude, chill
No,
out.
you'd
I
be
didn't mean to.
and you would always have to. In some games, you couldn't turn it off of that, so you'd have to be like,
Yep.
You stay top hand right of the screen. I will stay bottom left hand corner of
Yep.
the screen. Don't get near each other, and then invariably you would always.
I swear there's
Had
a
some
few of
power
them
move
still
that you
like
took 'em
this.
out or
Like
something.
it's you
well,
can still
the
hit each
most
other.
infamous is Battletoads.
Yes.
Battletoads
yeah.
Battletoads unplayable as a 2-player game.
Well,
Yeah,
it's just
you
like when
know.
you punch, you like jump forward.
Well,
too,
and not only
it's like-
Battletoads, when you die, like I'm trying to remember, when
Do you
one
use
person
each other's-
dies, I think it makes both of you go back or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're dependent on each of your individual lives. And if you think about like the speeder level and all these kinds of things, there's no way you're going to get two people
Yeah.
through that.
No,
you know?
way. No,
No
way.
way.
Yeah.
No way. That would be crazy. And then also you have this whole thing like you punch each other in the shoulder. Okay, you punch me now, I hit you back. When you get two guys together and it's like, oh, you just hit me twice, and I'm like, okay, I'll super you, and then you see the life goes down. Well, wait, we're not even. And
Yep.
you end up killing each
just,
other.
You know, yeah,
Turns
and
It's
into
like that
fighting
scene
game.
from
Yeah.
Scream when
Exactly.
they're both
And
like,
every-
here, stab me, and I'll stab you. And he's like, oh, you got me too deep.
It's like everyone turns into 10-year-olds.
I told you not so deep.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that
It is Halloween right around the corner,
Dude,
boys.
Scream's a good movie. The
Scream's
original
a
one.
good movie,
No,
man.
the original trilogy, or what is it? A quadrilogy?
Oh man, they went deep.
probably,
They went
but
deep.
I just remember the first two.
The first
Yeah.
two were good, man.
Yeah.
First,
And it was
Maybe
Clive
three?
Barker or whatever, or the guy who. I
Yeah,
don't
Clive
know.
Barker. You're right.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven.
Yeah, Wes
Wes
Craven.
Craven.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's awesome, I think I've already said, Wes Craven, huge video game player. I've said
Oh,
that
really?
before on this podcast.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yep.
Did you ever
He
play Wes
loves it.
Craven's Undying, the first-person kind of shooter-ish
No,
sort of
I
game for
haven't.
PC? It's pretty cool, actually.
Really?
From back in the day.
He
yeah.
loves video games, and he plays like he after last. He's like, oh, I just played Last of Us. Oh, I just played this. He'll play Grand Theft Auto. He'll play like new games, and the guy
Oh,
looks
nice.
Dude, the
like
guy's got to
Father
be
Time.
95 years old
Yeah.
now.
He's pretty old.
I actually think Wes Cravens and Stan Lee are like the same guy. Like one of just like the horror version, the other one's the superhero guy.
Oh man, I would totally volunteer at that nursing home. It'd be fun, huh? It's like, hey, sign this. No,
Yeah.
sorry, I wouldn't exploit them. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's so cool.
But I totally would.
But anyway, moving on from that, the beat 'em ups sound really fun. Our buddy Brett Weiss, there's an older episode. Adam did an interview with him. It's really cool. He has made a lot of. He's been doing video game kind of journalism. He's been a video game author of video game related books. He also, is author of other books. But he makes the rounds at conventions, things like that. He has created a lot of like 100 best, video games of all time. He has a lot of different books. He recently created the Omnibus. I don't know.
Yeah,
Did I
the
say Omnibus?
SNES Omnibus. or
Omnibus, which is a great. Like that's just such a great name because nobody uses that anymore. It's like an old word that no one
The
uses.
graphic novels and stuff sometimes still use that. You know,
Yeah.
it's a compilation type thing.
Yeah. But it's basically the of the Super Nintendo. It's a nice big hardback. Have you guys seen it yet?
It's awesome.
I've seen
I
pics.
have
Yeah,
I have
I've seen
volume
some
one.
pics. Yeah.
But in person,
haven't
okay,
seen
my
it in
laptop, it's the same like dimensions as this.
Oh yeah,
Really?
it's a big,
That's a
huge
big-
book, big,
wow.
nice, colorful
Okay.
pages. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, there was a sale I tweeted out. It was a little discount on Amazon, but you could buy it direct from Brett's website. I think brettweisswords.com. It's like I think a $50 book.
Yeah, thereabouts. I
Yeah.
think, and you can order like I have. Volume 1 is out, and I just pre-ordered Volume 2 directly from Brett the other day.
Yeah.
so you can do that.
Yeah, and it's cool. He made the colors of the first book black and red, and then the
nice.
second book is that nice light purple and gray.
Gray, okay,
And
cool.
so it went A through M, and the other one's going N through Z. I read through this recently, so I got my copy a couple weeks ago, and it's a really good book.
Yeah, it's a good book.
And not talking on anybody else's book, but I also bought another book, not of that, of the NES and not the Super NES, and that one is cool, right? I like it, but like the layout and everything, you can tell the difference from like someone who's an author, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He also has to his credit, he found a lot of other people to comment on all these because he would have never been able to finish this thing.
well, and there's the technical stuff. There's the individual story
Correct.
stuff, and then there's like
Screenshots,
yeah,
ads.
screenshots. Like it's really cool. Like if you're just like, hey, I wonder about that game. You just who needs the interwebs?
And I flipped through every
Pull
page.
it up, and yeah, it's cool.
I flip through every page, like Madden 96, and I'm like, well, and some he'll give longer spiels, but he gives
everybody their due
a half.
respect.
He gives everybody a page, right? And then some get 2, a couple games get 3 if they're really super popular. But like I love Madden 96. I know everybody's gonna be like, what?
I know. I'm with you.
But like I love that certain
cool
old
games
game,
like
and
that.
I remember that. And you go back to it, and it's like, oh, rated really well, this and that. And there's other games in there that I've never heard. What was great is there's like 6, 7 games I like never heard of, never saw a screenshot, never saw anybody, and of course you guys probably have because you know the library better. But there's still like I was still like enjoying it. I fell asleep and it hit me in the face. So Brett, I need you to. I need to pay. I'm going to send my medical bill to you because I was reading it in bed. This is a problem.
Your
We're so
nose
used
broke,
to.
you're like,
yeah,
oh,
I was like, it hit me in the mouth, and it wasn't that bad. It was one of those where it hits you in the mouth and it
You just
gives you
start
that
jars you.
quick like, I need to rub it, and then it's like that really hurts, and it goes away, and it's fine. It didn't really hurt me, but Brett, maybe put a warning on your book. Dang it, just kidding.
Could read for too long and then you will fall.
Yeah, but anyway, check it out. We're not plugging. He doesn't give us any free review copies or anything like that. It's just a very cool guy. Knows the industry, knows games. Anyway, as we get older, reading the books is a lot easier to do, and it's a way to kind of like put it out there. You put it on your coffee table. Someone comes over. It's not like you've got a freaking like games everywhere. Everything. I was gonna say that I work with somebody and. We were talking about our game night, and then we were doing this at the table with all the other professionals of our work and everything. And it was like, oh, I didn't know. And Bob was my buddy. He's like, Bob, how are you so accomplished and got everything done, and you're still a game freak? And he said, game freak?
Game freak.
Jeez. And I was like, if you only knew I had a podcast. And I do another podcast where I'm in a virtual world talking about video games or whatever. It's like, anyway, there's still some of that out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Brett Weiss words. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, it's good. Fun book. Definitely check it out. Moving on. So, I still like the name of this thing we're about to talk about.
The mini megas,
Yeah.
the polymegas,
The multitude of larges.
the mini numbers of big things.
Yeah, lots of larges. It was they were right on the cap. Lots of larges. It's open. There's no website. What are we talking about, Adam?
We're talking about the Polymega.
Yeah,
Polymega.
We talked about this a little bit last time.
We did, yeah, a little bit. I was just going to give a little update on it.
Yeah.
It's so we said last time they're kind of it's not a Kickstarter thing, but they're sort of running it like an independent Kickstarter. So it has reached its funding goal.
What was the funding
made it.
goal?
$500,000.
Okay, so a good chunk of change, and they're at
$517,833.
Okay,
They made it.
So we're gonna get it, and
Unless some people bail, they've made it.
well, it's better than the Atari VCS debacle thing. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, and so it's funded. They they have all these stretch goals, like if we get this amount, then we'll add this feature or this little thing or whatever. But I'm kind of hoping it gets to the next funding goal. And honestly, I don't know why they wouldn't do it anyways. But there's a the next one. The next goal is to add a bunch of functionality to the menu systems.
How
and
close are they?
It keeps track of your collections and all that kind of thing. It's 750.
Holy
to
crap!
get-
I
to
thought
get to
that was part
level.
of it.
No, not yet.
750.
They
is
are
a big
very
jump.
tricky. These
That's
people are
250.
very tricky.
Yep, and then the
How
next
many
one's
days
$1
are
million,
left? Wow.
and the next one's 1.25,
Oh,
and so on
see,
and so
my
forth.
idea of stretch goals is like another 5-10%. You're talking an extra 250,000.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'd like it.
Ooh,
I'd
boy.
like to see it get to that other one just because
How many
I would
days
like that
was it?
functionality,
Or
but they
still-
honestly ought to just do it. What's that?
How many days were still left?
I think when they reached the last funding goal, so they gave themselves a month to reach the first goal, and, and I
okay.
think it resets and gives them another month to get to the
gotcha.
next
Wow.
one. So it's basically it just
I understand.
I
Yeah.
think it's. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I think it's variable, but I think they give themselves more time when they get to the next level.
Shane, it
That
looks like
makes
you
sense.
stubbed your toe. You have
Yeah,
something
yeah.
to say?
I don't know. That sort of irks me because I thought that was part of the deal. Like that when you popped in a disc, it sort of saves it on your library and really something cool to show off.
No,
and
no,
just
no.
have
I don't.
it right there and
I don't.
ready.
I don't think that that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
I think what they're talking about is it adds functionality where it keeps track of your collection and how much you've played each individual game.
Okay.
And like it's basically just a deeper menu system. A
little bit, okay.
Basically, I think is-
$250,000.
At least, that's what I understand it to be. Although I'm sure all of this is going to be like put in an SD card, download a system update,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
What's their original thinking release date on this sucker?
I think April next year, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
no, no. Here's the deal. Here's their kicker. April Fools is when they're when the release.
Is it really? Is it?
Yes. That's sort of.
It's not April 2nd. Seriously?
Yes. Swear.
Oh, well,
Swear.
I guess they stole me some money.
Yeah. And this is the thing that
Wait,
takes
isn't
me off
April
about
Fool's
this company
Day
is like
April 1st?
Yeah.
I missed
April 1st.
I missed the talk when you guys were talking about this because I'm very interested in this console, but some of the stuff that they're doing is sort of driving me a little bonkers.
Yeah,
on
so
it.
plays real quick. PSX, Saturn, what else?
Saturn.
It plays a whole bunch of stuff.
Bunch of
Turbo,
stuff.
Turbo
Sega
Graphics.
CD.
Oh,
Yeah.
it'll play my.
CD.
Yeah, basically
Yep,
everything.
CD.
Basically everything.
CD.
32-bit generation ish.
Yeah.
That's CD minus the Jag.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, which is
And
cool.
the
Is you
Amiga.
can play it on HDMI and you have it on your main TV if you want. Or I mean, that's what I would use
It's
it for.
like $200, right?
Yeah, I mean it depends on what bundle, quote unquote, you get.
You
But,
get.
but the base unit, I'm just going on their website here. The base unit runs
It's 300, I think,
Oh.
right?
well,
Just
the-
a regular base with the CD with no attachments because everything is a module. So
And not to harp on this, not to jump too far off, but we were saying 300. It made me remember Arcade 1-Up. You know how last episode I'm like, oh, I was going to have the arcade for the that's what my brain was. I was going to have the arcade for that game night and bring it over there.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect, but they delayed the shipment, so I never got
Oh,
it yet.
man.
There's some out, and there's some in Home Depot. randomly,
yeah,
and
right
all this
now,
other
yeah.
crud. But anyway, I did not get the
they
Arcade
really
1-Up yet.
Yeah,
but
they
I'm,
really botched on how all that went too.
and it's not their
crazy.
fault.
No,
Evidently.
it isn't.
It's
Yep.
all at Walmart and stuff, and they're just slow rolling.
yeah, sorry, base unit's $249.
Oh, 240. Yes,
249.99,
Yep,
it's
sorry.
$250.
Yep,
All right.
250.
That's how much the original Switch was, right? Am I forgetting that? Is Switch when it released $250, right?
I think it's
300.
$299, wasn't it?
Yeah, $299.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 300.
Yeah, it still
Yep.
isn't 250.
Yeah.
I
It's
swear
still
I bought
300.
mine for $250.
You did that thing where you took it to Best Buy and did some weird trade and some
Yeah.
bull crap.
Oh
and then you
no,
got
I
your-
didn't do a trade. It
And
was.
you
it
can also
was-
buy them like on eBay when they was like 20% off. So I know
No,
people do
what it
that to
was.
get the-
Yeah, I didn't trade in anything. It was. I bought gift cards
Yeah,
at
there
Best
you go.
Buy for
Yeah.
a discount. Yes,
That's right.
okay.
No, I knew there was something hinky you did to
Yeah.
get to do a workaround to get yours cheaper.
Yeah.
See, I was going to have a talk to you about this, Adam, about the Polymega. So everything seemed like it was running on, what do they call that? That hardware that's still original, not original hardware,
yeah,
but
you're
it's
right.
Well,
like
they were
hybrid.
talking FPGA.
Yes.
Well, they were talking a combination of FPGA and software emulation originally. But now it's all basically software emulation.
emulation. See, it seemed like they changed their tune when they added the Saturn. And I almost want to write and be like, can you just take the Saturn out and can we get all of our modules still with the FPG or whatever.
And
they call
maybe
it.
they're still talking about that.
I know, it's
potentially.
just
And it may,
crazy.
like I said, it's risky. It may be a sham, but
I know.
we'll see. We'll see how it works.
I'm still interested in the I'm still interested in it.
I would want to see now. Again, they could then charge more for it after it came out. But me, if it runs the way it's supposed to, I would probably get it because I don't. Like, you guys have some good setups, how you put all your stuff in the little cubes and everything. And I've got this weird situation where I have a lot of room
spread
for
out.
games, but I don't really have a lot of room for, like, this is the retro section, this is this, because all my game stuff is kind of hidden when you first come in the house.
Yeah.
And then I don't have, I wish, a whole dedicated room, like a basement or whatever. So I kind of, anyway, my setup's weird, but I don't have, like, everything at the ready where this box would be kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah, this is going to go in my house, whereas all my game collection is going to go in the game room.
And I don't mind
yeah,
that.
that's my plan.
I have
From a Sega CD game to a Saturn game to a PSX
Awesome.
game.
Yeah, all on the
that's
same
awesome.
machine. Yeah,
I don't
totally.
care if it's emulation, if it does it well, and it looks like, and what they're talking is that it is going to be ran well, and there's sort of their own emulation type of deal. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to do that well, and I'm fine with that. But I'm just I would never pay for the modules because it doesn't make sense to me for the modules.
Oh yeah, the modules. You're talking
Yeah.
like the add-on stuff.
Yeah, the
right?
add-on
Okay.
stuff. So that doesn't make
And
sense to me.
remind me, those are like Super Nintendo Atom. What are they
Yeah.
again?
Yeah, there's one for Super Nintendo. There's one for TurboGrafx. There's one for NES. Slash. Well, it's NES slash Famicom, Super Nintendo slash Super Famicom,
which is that's awesome.
Genesis slash Mega Drive, and then there's PC Engine slash TurboGrafx.
Gotcha.
So-
but outside the PC Engine, all those others, like a lot of people have clones, and a lot of
Yeah.
people have the
Yeah,
exactly.
And if it's not an FPGA, I mean, it's basically going to work like most any other clone system, I would imagine, for those
And then
particular games.
those modules start adding up if you start getting.
Well, they're
that
$60 a
multiples.
pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they start adding up real
That can
quick.
be a lot of money.
Yeah. Now I'm just really. I mean, the system looks awesome. It's just some of the things that they did.
Yeah, I mean, it might all just be a bunch of crap.
Yeah,
but
it might be.
We'll see. I'm willing to bet on it. I don't think that this is the Chameleon. I don't think it's the Atari VCS.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems a little bit more legit than that. Maybe it's not. Maybe I've been hoodwinked. But
Yeah.
but this is the first one I've actually.
But that's what I'm saying with the modules.
This is the first one I've actually put money on, though.
Yeah.
I didn't put any money on any of that other stuff.
How about this? The potential is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And outside of all the other things, like you said, yes, you still have that chance, but this one seems to have their crap together a little bit more.
Yeah, a
than
little
the
bit more
others.
than others. Yeah.
And also, the price point, Walmart's making it, or if they would turn it into a, like what Sega did with their clone consoles, then, it'd be sold at Target and it'd be $100 and be made of crap and you break it and whatever. So, we just hope this thing succeeds. That'd be nice because it's another kind of fun thing to have. But again, for me, it's not that, you guys are talking about the modules and this and Super Nintendo. I mean, disc-based games.
Disc-based, it's
game.
totally worth it for
Having
that.
something reliable, totally would love it. So another big segment thing we want to talk. This is going to be our last episode we do before we go to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Yes. Can't wait, man.
And all, even though we're three guys in a basement, all four of us are going to be able to go there, right?
Yep.
Yes.
This is going to be really cool. We'll be wearing our hats.
Hats, t-shirts.
Did I say this last time? How I said I wanted to bring all my video game related T-shirts. Did I say this last time?
No, I don't think so.
So I have so many, and I rarely wear them. I figure this is a perfect place to wear them. I'm going to be like one of those women who throw dinners and flamingo parties where they change after the appetizer.
After.
I was going to bring all my shirts and then like constantly change and go
Change.
on Twitter and say, if you find the guy wearing this shirt, you get a hat and
Hey,
stuff.
that's
and have
a pretty
people,
good idea.
So it might be a super dumb idea. We don't know. But we're gonna. Shane, you're gonna bring some T-shirts. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
we're bringing some T-shirts.
Yeah.
We'll have them set up at a booth. So
TJ, Married
yeah,
Guy Gamer.
yeah, Married Guy Gamer is he's helping us out a ton and letting us put some T-shirts out there. So
Yeah, so we'll have a little bit of merch out there.
You know what's funny about video game T-shirts though? In moving, my wife, had to pack all of our clothing and stuff, and she's like, "All you have is T-shirts, and all of your T-shirts are video game T-shirts."
What about the one you're wearing right now? I don't know that one.
Oh, it's a band, MXPX.
There you go.
see,
yeah,
people do
this is-
bands, the video games.
Yeah, but
that's
I
the
do
thing.
have
That's the
I
thing.
do have an inordinate number of video game T-shirts, so that's true.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Michael and I are rocking the we're business attire.
Yeah, you guys are button up over there. Yeah.
Can't
Classy,
work. I would have a
looking all
tee on.
classy.
What if
over
I
there.
what if I wore this get up to the video and like my hair like when it's all like Leave It to Beaver that I have to do when I'm at work or whatever.
Oh,
I do?
boy.
Yeah. Anyway, so Yeah, so we'll all get there. Adam, you're getting there a little bit early.
Yeah, I'm going out the Monday before, and we're gonna land, drive out to the coast, stay on the I'm not even sure. My wife rented some condo or something out there, and then we'll stay out there for I guess 3 or 4 nights.
Nice.
Head back over to Portland. We're staying at the hotel, I guess, next to this arena, or just catty corner to it, or whatever. And then starting Friday night, party.
Yep.
You know, gonna play a bunch of arcade games. And maybe go see a panel or two, do a little bit of shopping, you know, just meet people, hang out.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
just do all the same
we got
stuff.
a meetup going at 4:00 right at the front. Video Game Dad's meetup. It's going to be all 4 of us.
All four of us.
4 of us and nobody else. I'm just kidding.
Everybody got in their tickets?
I
yes.
bought mine. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
fine.
got-
Yeah,
I
all
finally-
right. Thank you.
I finally
Thank
pre-ordered
you.
mine the other day. Is anybody doing any cosplay?
I am not.
No.
Well, since you mentioned that, I haven't told you guys this.
Oh boy.
But I will not be participating in cosplay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, oh boy, I'm gonna see
Yeah.
what this is.
That's right. Michael's going to be Chun-Li.
I thought Ben was going to be like Zero Suit Samus. That's what I was thinking.
Oh God!
yeah,
I
that's
would,
a wig.
I would just be touching myself.
Yeah, no. And so when we went to what it was a Super BitCon last year, my little niece, she was the best cosplay in the whole thing.
Yes,
and
that
they made her
was
like
awesome.
Hitu.
Oh, yeah.
So they took her stroller and put little clouds on it and dangled a little camera up above it and
Yeah,
dressed
That's
her up.
cute.
That's so awesome.
But yeah, my kids are gonna dress up for it. So
cool.
we got them little Pikmin hats, you know.
Oh, okay.
That's
And
awesome.
so my kids are going to be they're going to be Pikmin. I guess
that's
to
legit.
fully do it, I should be Captain Olimar, I suppose. But yeah,
should.
that won't happen.
Shave your head.
How
put it-
awesome that Grayson freaking agreed to be a Pikmin.
He doesn't really know what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's
we're
just like, all right.
we're like, oh, you're a cute Pikmin. He's like, I'm a Pikmin. You know?
I like it.
Whatever.
He's like,
take my
whatever,
picture.
yeah,
Yep.
whatever you say, sandwich.
Got him.
That's funny.
Gonna hold this against you, son.
Yeah, so the 3 of us will stay at the hotel. We can't release that because then
Yeah,
we'll get
that's,
hounded and
yep.
everything.
Oh,
We'll stay at this same hotel we did last time with Turok.
Yep.
And I think something else I didn't say, and of course, Adam, you'll be able to come over, or we could go to your hotel. I guess it doesn't matter. I think maybe if we do a nightly video for our YouTube or some of our pickups,
Yep.
that way you
That'd
guys
probably
can
be a good idea.
see our faces or whatever if you want to do that. Woo.
Yeah, who wants that?
We'll break your screen.
We'll just show the games.
Yeah. Oh, and I put up. So this was after the last one I uploaded it. I put on Facebook a YouTube video. We don't do much of the YouTube, but I unboxed a PS4 controller. So if you look up PS4 DualShock Berry Blue, we're like the #1 video. I was just informed we had
famous.
a couple thousand.
Actually,
views.
you're famous.
Yeah,
you did a good
3,000
job
views.
there.
Yeah,
Good job.
Benjamin's controller is famous.
3,000. Yeah. But I just but again, we talked about this a little before. Real small touch. It's like, oh yeah, YouTube, awesome. People are looking and commenting, and then you have one comment,
Yeah,
where I
that's
just want to
this.
punch through the screen. This
Yeah.
guy's like, I didn't even realize it. My kid was maybe crying, but it's a floor away, and he couldn't have been like screaming, crying. It
Yeah.
was just like a naggy cry or something. And all the comments was like, dude, a baby is crying, and I was like, I replied back like, yeah, that happens. Babies cry. He's like, no, I understand. I think he's foreign or something because he said, I understand it happens. This is kids every day, but it seems like your child, he or she, was unattended. And I was like,
Man,
gosh,
yeah.
bless it. So anyway,
That's why we sort of pump the brakes on YouTube. We want
know.
to, but then we're sort of at a steady line. Like,
Yeah,
what could we do with this?
YouTube's a zoo.
Yes.
yeah, so don't do as I do. I always say like, oh, just ignore the. I've even heard like Norm before. He doesn't
Yep.
do it very much. There's some other guys who are on YouTube, renamed nameless, who really like call out whatever, and I'm always just like, oh, just ignore them. But like,
It's
I
very
didn't.
hard to when it's personal.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you idiot! I looked on his thing, and all he does is do like he has 300 subs, and he does first-person shooter games. Like, great, awesome! You're really different.
Yeah.
Come look at my berry blue controller. That's awesome, you ninny! You ninny! I can't cuss. I digress. Didn't really piss me off. I was just thinking of a way. How can I like say something back, but also I don't know this guy, so what if he
Yeah.
like looks up my IP?
It's a weird deal.
Yeah, but
The dark part.
but
of
we still
YouTube.
might try to do some YouTube videos.
Yeah, we might try it. We're
for
tinkering
Portland.
how
See,
that would
sorry.
work.
Yeah, I don't pay him any attention. I'm the YouTube trolls. If
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume 1 out of 50 is just going to be some hater.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
And
It
we
doesn't
don't,
matter.
again, we don't do the YouTubes much, but we might do something for pickups because I enjoy watching. That's the only reason I enjoy. And shoot, maybe
I think we
can
would
get
have some good pickups if we did YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll
Yep.
ask TJ or whatever what he's doing. Like we can maybe have some people come over to the hotel and show their pickups because
Yep.
like that's and Reggie always is like that's what I love about Reggie. He always is like more interested in the games I've picked up than me.
Yep.
And I was like, oh yeah,
I did notice
a lot
that
of
the
fun.
past few times is like, yeah, he's very pumped up about
Yeah,
that. It's really
but anyway,
cool.
I think that'd be fun because last time I picked up a whole lot of stuff. So we'll be doing that. Go to the auction, pick up some games. Any particular? How about we just say like 1 or 2 things round robin? We don't.
I'm looking for, if I'm going to pick up anything, I want to get some Saturn import or like
Okay.
some CDI or
CDI would, yeah.
3DO type of stuff that I can't find local because I've never bought a game off of eBay before. So I want to get something interesting and cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of on a limited budget right now, so those ones wouldn't be too bad then. So
Yeah, and they have got a lot of imports, which is neat
Yeah,
because
which
it's
is
close
cool.
to the coast. I remember when I went there, I was like surprised how many imports were there.
I know. I remember there, like the last time we went,
And
there was a
not-
whole table full of like Saturn imports, and I was like, man, I should have really jumped
Yeah,
on
and they
that.
weren't expensive. They were actually
Yep.
priced in a kind of almost budgety discount
Yep.
because they got a lot of imports there.
Yep.
They're saying now, I remember some of the Seattle people are saying those imports or like all games are drying up there. But to them, drying up
Yeah,
is like,
drying up.
oh, I just ran into
You
one
ain't seen dry, my
TurboGrafx
son.
collection or whatever. It's like, okay.
But also, I want to do the arcade. The arcade's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like after I get done looking around, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm hitting the arcade. And
Oh,
I'm hitting
yeah,
it
I'm there.
hard.
We talked about that a lot last time.
It might enter some tournaments too.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
doing those things.
Gun butted up.
Yep, gun butt. Somebody might get gun butting. I don't know. It might happen.
Yeah, that was our
is
first.
there a Halo tournament? Do you know specifically?
There was last time, so I'm
Yeah,
hoping so.
I'm sure there is. There's bound to be.
Yeah, I would assume I
Yeah,
have.
hopefully Mr. Gunbutt will be there this year. Yeah.
I'm gonna practice, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do my
You're
game right.
gonna get that gun butt.
I'm gonna get the gun
yeah,
butt.
you're
I'm gonna squad up with
perfect
some
it.
people. I'm gonna find some people. I'm gonna win. I'm bringing home the trophy, guys, to the video game dads.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
You do it. If you do that, I'll buy you a $6 hot dog or whatever.
Bet it's happening.
I'm gonna go counterclockwise. I'm gonna buck
Not
the
going
trend.
hungry.
I'm gonna talk real quick. Engage games. I'll look. Hopefully, I'll find Engage games. Game Gear games. I'm excited to just like rummage a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of like.
You could really rummage.
You know,
there.
I was saying like I'm gonna kind of like just not having a list of things to look at, but like total mistake. I'm remembering
Yeah.
you really should have a list because there are so many games you can't get through everything if you. But then like PlayStation, there might be something random you want to go through. So I do say like I'll have to come up with some sort of list. I don't have a huge one. I'm looking forward to looking at this Tommy Tallarico guy who has this Intellivision panel. Probably the only panel I'm going to try to do. Real quick synopsis is Tommy Tallarico is a video game composer. All intensive, seems like a really cool guy. He hosted Electronic Playground back in the early 2000s, late 90s. He has been part of many games. Earthworm Jim, right? Adam. He's done that entire soundtrack. He lives in California, has a big mansion. You can see like an MTV Cribs type video game. Like if you look him up, you can find some really, and he's lived there like 25 years. He did a basic MTV Cribs back in like 1996 and showed off his house. And they did one last year. Same house. He looks a little bit older, but like it's so funny.
After I win that Halo term, I'm hanging out with that guy.
Dude, yeah. I'm actually excited to see him. I hope he's signing autographs because I was looking at his game list. I was like, oh, I remember.
Yeah,
playing
I'm
this
totally
game.
taking some Earthworm Jim stuff for sure.
Yes,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
because I have Earthworm Jim, Saturn, Genesis, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I've got the vinyl.
Yeah, he's done some real iconic games and stuff you wouldn't know. But he is going to be there talking about and releasing the new Intellivision system, and he's there. It's not going to be like a classic. Intellivision, not the most popular old system, but he is a connoisseur. When I looked at his tours and stuff, you talk about all the old stuff and collections and everything. Yeah, he's got a lot of movie memorabilia and Rocky stuff and all this other stuff, but he knows video game history very well. He can just spit a little all out. And the Intellivision Classic, there's going to be other, like IGN's going to be there probably, and all these other things. So I'm really hope I can get in that panel and see this kind of reveal, because also the old video game guys who created Intellivision are also, he's like hired them or something. I can't remember what their names are specifically, but that should be really cool. I'm looking forward to that.
That'd be interesting what he does with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited to just find fun, quirky stuff. Overall, I'm just looking forward to going on a little vacation, getting on an airplane with Shane again.
Yeah.
Because Shane loves airplanes.
I love
I had
airplanes.
to hold his hand and give him Dramamine. It was really nice.
Are you really scared of airplanes?
Hate airplanes.
Oh, really?
I hate
Really?
heights. I hate
Wow.
heights. I
And
hate
you wuss.
hate heights.
You know, it's fun. I'm the same way. Dude, I was on an airplane where the hydraulic fuel leaked out.
Oh,
No
boy.
joke. In
And they
1990s.
told you this?
I was,
boy.
how about this? I can really, Adam, I saw it come out of the rivets of the plane
That's
boy.
hilarious.
when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'd probably never fly it again.
13 years old.
You guys prefer aisle or window?
I kind of like.
I like window, man.
I like
I'm
window
a
because
window
I can
man
just tuck
myself.
myself and then I can shut that dang window.
Yeah, I like leaning up
Boom.
against it.
I like being by the bathroom because I smell everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, man. Either that or the one right above the wing at the exit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the exit lane.
I just.
Yeah, get the extra leg room.
Yeah, extra leg room.
That is a nice
It's
spot.
key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Shane's
is.
like, I just want to be in the seat that gets me there.
yeah, just get me there and we're
It's like
golden.
Yeah, pilot station. Yeah.
You guys ever seen that episode of The Twilight Zone where there's like the lady on the wing?
Yes.
Remember
Yes.
that famous
Yes.
episode?
Yeah.
Like literally every time I fly, I think of that episode.
Yeah.
you know?
I think everybody does. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not me, because now I think about seeing hydraulic fuel leak out of rivets on a wing.
So you don't
Southwest
look at the
Airlines.
wings no more.
Dude, yeah, Southwest Airlines. I remember it, and I remember anyway. The short story is we were up there swinging around. We were leaving Orlando. I noticed it. My mom's next to me, and I see it. And I was young. I was young enough to know. I was not young enough. I was old enough to know this isn't right, probably, but too young to say anything because you're kind of frozen. It's because you're a dumb kid. And then about a half hour after, I see this fluid leaking out of the wing, because as soon as the air hits, it kind of pulls it away.
Pulls
but
it
I
away,
can see it, right? He comes over and he's like, "Oh, we got a kind of got a problem," or whatever he ended up saying. And so I
Kind of have a problem.
So I ended up seeing a video before of plane crashes or whatever. And there's a famous plane crash. There's a lot of plane crash videos out there, right? But one famous plane crash is when you see it going down, and then the camera cuts out, and then you see a chain link fence, and you don't see anything, and then you see a ball of fire. Enough of our listeners, somebody will recognize that video, because you don't see it totally, but you see it kind of go behind a fence and blow up. That was the same problem that my plane had, evidently. But there's a backup hydraulic system, but those backup hydraulics usually don't work as well because they're a backup, right?
Yeah.
It's like your second parachute. You're not going to be able to do all the fun piloting
fun
stuff
stuff,
on your way down. It's just get down there, break your ankles. So anyway, that leaks out. And he's like, there's a backup. So they end up circling for a long time above. And it just, we're 45 minutes late of landing. And I'm just kind of what the heck are we doing? I find out later that is protocol because you burn more fuel. So if you blow up, you don't blow up as much.
Yep. That's why. Exactly.
You make me want to go to Portland right now.
Oh, his story's great.
Dude, it's the safest way to travel.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
It's way safer.
No,
than
no.
driving.
Yeah, it's
Me
way
driving
safer.
is the
than driving.
safest way to
Yeah,
travel.
statistically,
No,
you're way more
no,
likely
no.
to
No,
die in
I'm
a
Dale
car.
Earnhardt, baby.
It is the
I got
safest
this.
way
I'm
to
good.
travel.
How did Dale Earnhardt die?
Dang it. All right, bad reference there. Dang it.
There's some holes in there. No, I'm serious.
I'm Junior, baby. I'm Junior.
Shane, I'll calm you down. All right, my voice will calm you.
Okay.
It is the safest way to travel to the afterlife.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
I'm gone.
Sorry. Anyway, okay. So obviously I'm alive, right? You're not
Yes.
talking to a ghost.
Yes,
It's not Patrick Swayze making some
No,
claim
man.
with it.
I bet, this happened in the 90s, I assume.
97.
I bet
or 6.
either Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jean-Claude crawled out onto that wing and pulled that bastard down so you guys could land.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happened.
That's how that ended.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows.
Absolutely.
That would have been cooler because it was a little more anticlimactic. But here's what I found out: they could go down, but the hydraulics weren't doing well going back up. So it was kind of like they had a straight shot and they had to do it pretty well. And even they said, if you got young children, hold on to them. And we went down, and it was a rough landing. We did land. I think we almost ran out of fuel because we had to get taxied, or we did something when we landed. So we ended up having to get taxied out, and we didn't have to jump down the slides. But I remember this: my mom and my sister and I were the last ones off the plane, and I saw the pilot. He wasn't young, he wasn't old. He was probably 38 or something like that, or 40.
Was he frazzled?
And I have never seen such perspiration on a human being
boy.
who's wearing a shirt. So he's wearing a shirt, black tie, the normal thing. It looked like, I'm not joking. It looked like he was in his work clothes and he turned on the shower for 15
boy.
seconds. His whole body, and he was calm looking. It wasn't like frazzled then because he's probably has this weird relief. But I'm not, it was so vivid. It's like it happened yesterday. He was just like soaked. And I was just like, oh, that was as bad as I thought it was. They had interview people like interviewing us. I was
Oh
one of the
boy,
ones at
man,
the very
yeah,
end
I
when we
would
got
never
off.
flown again.
Well, Southwest
I'm
never had a
better
crash.
you than me. So
Yeah. So anyway, this episode is sponsored by Southwest Airlines.
That's right.
Keeping you
Our
alive.
pilots are so
Barely.
good they can land the planes without landing
Okay,
gear.
okay, Michael, what are you looking for at Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you
so-
besides not dying?
Yeah, I'd like to live.
A flight simulator game. No.
One game on N64 that when I was down in Oklahoma at BitCon that I passed up, and this guy, we were just like $10 off, and I was stupid and just didn't buy it. It was Worms Armageddon for N64. It's just one of the few that I don't have,
Yep.
and I just need to get
I
it.
know a guy that might sell that to you.
Okay, so maybe I'll be getting it before but PRGE, but we'll see. And I think I mentioned it last time, but like the last black box NES game I need, which is Clue Land. So
Looking
I
for
need to
it?
yeah, I need to get that.
I think you have
it's
a pretty good shot on
yeah,
that
I was
one.
gonna say I don't think I'll have a problem with that one. I need Donkey Kong Country 3 in box just because I have the first
You'll be
two.
good. You'll be good.
So I'm gonna definitely need that because it just looks funny with 1 and 2, and then just the cart just sitting there next to it.
Don't buy the first one you see.
Yeah,
There's
that's
going to be like 8 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I kind of figure. And then, of course, there'll just be my list of like 100 and so NES games I'm going to go through. And
That
see
you're
if
trying
there's-
to get-
Yeah,
yep.
that I can find and see some good
Cheap.
deals. Yeah, see. Because, I mean, it's tough because, you could just go out there and buy them all. So you just try to conserve. And I have kind of a certain amount of money that I want to
Yep.
spend. But
Got a priority list of
exactly.
which ones first, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a few things I'm kind of hunting for, and then a few things I'm just going to kind of look around and graze and maybe pick up a few things.
Nice, nice. Mr. Adam, what do you got?
Just I mean, the typical thing, NES, of course, 1 or 2 NES games. I'll probably be looking for Sega CD because I don't even know why I like collecting Sega CD games, but I like collecting Sega CD games.
that
It's
FMV.
the big dumb boxes, man.
Yeah.
It's
I like
those
that
big
clamshell.
like the
Same way.
Saturn
I
and
like the
Sega CD
clamshell.
boxes.
They're cool.
I love their packaging more than it, even though they're like fragile and break and all that stuff.
I
Like
don't
old
care
man
if
I just
they're broken
can't
at
not
all.
get.
I don't care.
So I'll get at least one Sega CD game just because nobody else will want it.
You know what's
And
funny? Every con I went to, I think I bought a Sega CD.
I buy one at
don't-
every
You're
time
right.
I see
If
one
I was
that's
going
in
to
good
buy a
shape, I
game, I
buy
always
it.
think of a Sega CD
And
game.
I'm
that
like,
might buy,
I don't
so.
like Sega CD that much, but I gotta buy it. It's cool looking, so I
Yeah.
buy them. So I'll probably get something like that. There's kind of like sub collections that I'm trying to collect across like multiple systems. So I've been buying over the last couple of years working designs games, and I'm only like 3 or 4 games. Well, let me think about this for a second. I think I'm 5 games short of having every working designs game.
Nice.
I think there's 2 PlayStation games and 3 TurboGrafx games that I have to have.
Okay.
So, so I'll probably be looking for those. And then I try to buy everything SNK related. Across all the systems. There's some Xbox SNK games that I don't have, so I'll be looking for those.
Nice.
And then Saturn imports. That'll be my whole deal.
You and Shane are going to have to fight for those.
Yep.
Well, we may not be
might-
going for the same ones. I
Yeah.
don't think. And I already have I've probably got 40 or 50 Saturn
good.
import games
I
already.
had
so.
0, so this is a new adventure for me. So,
all right. Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, even though we did not have time for our video game book club, we do have time for our
Handheld
I didn't
Oh, damn. He kept that going.
go, yeah.
No, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to let go. I could have. We should. No, no one would listen. I was thinking like, let's just hold it out as long as possible. Oh yeah, we're doing a freaking podcast.
The listeners would love that.
People in the car,
love it.
and I will say that wavelength. I would show Adam
Strong?
because he's like that was the biggest wavelength I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
we're going to have to
Yeah.
loop mine if we want it really long.
Yeah, you're right. We should.
Just keep looping mine.
Yeah, episode 36. We just looped that sucker. Our handheld holla is a quick little segment where we'd like to give some love to those handhelds out there, you
was
know who
way
you
too
are.
sensual.
I always feel like it's like that. I'm a DJ late at night, and it's like
like-
we always want to give that love out to that handheld. You know who you are. Yeah, buttons are caressed.
I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just got weird.
it gets weird, but then all of a sudden you start. Anyway, we start talking about games for the portable systems that we liked, and this is anywhere from the old Tiger handheld all the way up to the Nintendo Switch. We just give it a little shout out. It can be popular, it cannot be. There's a lot of good handheld games out there, so we recommend them. So see if you can pick them up. Most of the time they'll be really, really cheap. We each pick one game. Let's go through them. I'm gonna go to Shane. Shane, what's your handheld holo pick?
Okay.
Recommendation for our listeners.
I'm gonna go with The Messenger on the Nintendo Switch.
Dude, tell me what this is. I've heard about it.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know
so
much
it's a
about it
new
either.
release on Nintendo Switch. It is a Ninja Gaiden clone, I would say. That's how I
digital
describe it.
digital only.
Yes, digital
Right
only,
now,
unfortunately.
there is a pending physical release.
Dude, this is a collector's thing. What are you doing picking
I
up?
know.
That's
There-
I'm
no,
sorry.
there's a pending physical release.
Awesome.
but
from-
this game,
from Special Reserve Games.
yeah, I need to jump on that if
Yeah,
they do that.
I'm not sure when it releases, but it is
Oh,
pending.
can you guys let me know about that? Because I will jump on that.
You gotta jump on it. So it's pretty much a Ninja Gaiden love letter, I would say. That'd be the best way
Okay.
to describe it. If you like Ninja Gaiden, a little bit smaller sprites, but it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I've watched
It's got
a video of
really
it.
the thing I really like about it is the quirky characters, and the shop that you go into is really awesome. The guy's just, it's funny, some of the stuff he says, but it's really cool. They do an 8-bit style, but then they also do like a 16-bit on the second part of it. So one of them's more like action on the front, and then the back end's more of like a 16-bit like fetch quest, not fetch quest, like a Metroidvania type of deal.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a little bit game of two different tales, which could throw you off a little bit, but it works well. It works well enough, and great game. I mean, everybody's talking about it, so I mean,
Cool. Well, I've seen the title come around. Just didn't know what kind of game it was. Sounds fun.
yep, you love it. Play it.
All right, Michael, what is your handheld holo pick this week?
My pick is on the 3DS. It's kind of a remake of a Wii game, and it's Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D.
Nice.
And it's pretty much exactly like the Wii game, but they just use that enhanced like 3D graphics.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one of my favorite games on the Wii. And then just to add the 3D graphics, it just makes it even better.
Awesome. And it's how much does this game cost?
I think it's like around $10 or like $15, $15
it's
bucks.
dropped. Everything 3DS is dropped,
Yeah,
so that's good.
it's not too bad at all.
Nice.
And it can provide hours of entertainment.
So I can't add this in. I've just remembered something I was looking for that I haven't said out loud to you guys. I am looking for something specific. I said I'd never pick up. I actually want to buy a Vita. I want to get
Okay.
the first level OLED. I was talking to Reggie about it, and I was like, I actually have some games. I picked up some during the GameStop sales and stuff, and so I was like,
I didn't even realize you didn't have one.
no, I've never had a Vita, and the whole memory card proprietary thing has kept me away. And I
Yeah.
love the PSP, right? So
Yeah.
all I had was
No, Vita's cool, dude. You're really gonna like it.
yeah, at one point I collected the whatchamacallit, the limited run games, but I never had it. And then I was gonna get it, and then I was like, well, I want the OLED, but I want it in good shape. The
Yeah.
first model.
No,
Yeah.
get you a Vita and get you a PS
Yes, yeah, that's Reggie says that too, because that's basically a little portable Vita, from what I've heard. And then, the big argument, sorry for the PSX, really going back, is a lot of people say, well, don't get the PSX, just get a hacked Vita or a PSTV or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it kind of does. It might do the same thing because they're thinking that it might just have Vita guts inside the PSX. Which would actually make sense if you think about it.
Yeah.
But sorry, your handheld holo pick, 3DS. Donkey Kong
Donkey
Country
Kong
returns
returns 3D. Yep.
3D. Nice. Clever. Adam, what is your handheld
that
holo
3D
pick
in
for
there.
our
So,
listeners?
so we did not confer about this beforehand, but I actually picked Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Advance.
Some more calm in our
all
life.
right.
Yeah. So
One of you guys is going to have to go home and change.
I know, right? Yeah. What color underwear you wearing, Michael? Yeah, are we match?
Maybe.
Dang it, that's how he always starts. Right?
Anywho,
Casey's like, that was the
my-
first one. Sorry.
my original Game Boy Advance, I had the original like OG Game Boy Advance, the non-backlit one.
Yep.
But then when I got the SP, I got a bundle that was like Jungle
Ooh,
Green
I remember that,
with Donkey Kong Country, and so it was my first Game Boy Advance game that I had. super awesome. And it's that Game Boy Advance, because it was one of the whatever SP101s, the one with the really nice screen on it and stuff.
Thanks 101s. Yeah.
One of my biggest regrets of things I ever sold was I had that all complete in box, and I sold it back when I was in college.
You want to hear something crazy? About
And
3 months ago, I missed out on a the boxed one of that system.
Yeah,
I
I've
was
always
like,
been-
oh,
I've always
no.
kind of
And it's
been
like
after-
$30, and I was like,
I've always kind of been after that exact same box setup, and I've never run across it. But
Keep an eye at PRG.
yeah, maybe I'll find one there. But
Yeah.
but it's actually a pretty good port of Donkey Kong Country, and Donkey Kong Country's like. The thing is, I hear people sometimes say it didn't age well.
I couldn't
I
disagree more.
disagree. I love Donkey Kong
fine.
Country, man.
I think
Like,
it's
great.
its own thing. Like that.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
Yeah,
it's like it's one of those games. Doesn't matter how old it gets, how old I get, or whatever. Great game.
Yep.
yeah, it did the Mortal Kombat thing, except applied it to a family friendly, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so with the art style and everything. I will say I didn't play it back in the day. It's this is really dumb, but like you know how sometimes just a mascot will just turn you off.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country, I was never into monkeys and gorillas, and it's super stupid because I like a purple dragon. Don't listen to my argument.
Yeah.
I love this purple dragon more than anything. But Spyro, for those who don't know, not I have one, but even Crash Bandicoot. But yeah, like the monkey from Donkey Kong Country. I was just kind of like,
I'm with you. Like that was never my big thing either.
Yeah.
It was like,
And the thing is, I don't even
know why.
consider myself to be like a good, like, and not like a competition level platformer. You know, like. But Donkey Kong Country, I am damn good
Yeah,
at
I
the Donkey
watched
Kong
you
Country
play- I
games.
actually
Like
watched
I
you
am
play, and
really
you are
good.
really good
And that's
at
one of the
that.
reasons
Yep.
I like them so much. Donkey Kong Country 1, I mean, I can beat Donkey Kong Country 2 in like 2 or 3 lives.
Wow.
You know, so I'm good at them, and that's part of the reason I like them, I guess.
Yeah.
But like those games are just my jam.
That's
you
kind of
know?
like Ray.
Yeah.
So I noticed like Rayman is kind of a even though they made
Is the
modern ones, but like the Rayman kind of stuff is like that too. Where I was like, these are just good platform. It is a great platformer. Just as a kid, I didn't play it because I just didn't. But if I would have like played it or had it, or let's say someone left it at I would have loved it. I just one of those systems or game series I just never got into. All right, my pick. We're keeping it all Nintendo, incidentally.
What?
Also, the GBA Final Fight 1 for the Game Boy Advance.
What?
That is a great beat 'em up,
man,
and it's
yeah.
basically the remake of the arcade game on the GBA.
Nice.
And it's great. I remember
That's probably better than the Super Nintendo version, then, right? Huh?
I think so. I haven't played the Super Nintendo version, but I sure as heck like this one a lot. I know the GBA, is very limited on its dots per like resolutions, like 180 or something. Oh, quick shout out, Retro Game Squad. You probably listened to that episode. They did a GBA episode, and it was just like that episode was for me. It felt like so personal because they did an entire episode, and they do like a 3.5 hour episode just devoted to the GBA.
Nice.
They all ran through. It's kind of like the book club, except they do it every 3 months, so it's like they have time to play everything, and they picked out 9 games to play like in depth. Talked about the hardware very specifically. It's funny, they left out the Game Boy Macro, which of course is just the DS or whatever, and then one other. Oh, and the new like Revo 100, which is an aftermarket, but it plays GBA games. But it's a pretty nice. It's like when people discovered a really good clone system for the GBA. But anyway, if you love, they go really in depth. They're a lot like us. I don't know, they're not family friendly or not. They're not annoying at all. They're nice and boring like us. So if you like Retro Game Squad, I'm just kidding.
Way to
It's
sell
just-
us there, Ben. Way to sell us.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite podcast that is not us.
Yeah. We should make sure they put that on their cover quote. Good God, I'm just saying. Yeah, I know. But they're real cool guys. Shout out to them. They've also shouted us out a few times too. And
Yeah, and
follow
I
us on
periodically
Twitter.
actually text back and forth with John. That's on there on
Yeah.
their show and stuff. Cool, they're just cool guys.
Yeah, very cool guys. But check them out in between our episodes coming out or something, or let us know too other podcasts you like. We like to find other ones to listen to. But anyway, Final Fight 1 for the GBA, not super expensive too, surprisingly for.
I thought that was like a $25 game.
It used to be, but I'll find it at VStock for like 12 or 10 or something.
Nice.
It'll be at the con. I bet you'll be able to find it for $10 easy
I'd buy it
at
for
the
$10.
con.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So moving on from our handheld holo, let's quickly go through. We're not going to get through everyone, but we're going to get through a couple emails. We really got some great ones, guys. We really appreciate it. You know, we don't have a
Thank
Patreon,
you.
anything else. Just when you give us little shout outs, comments, telling us our kids crying in the back of a YouTube video. It pulls at our heartstrings. Just kidding. But yeah, message us, email us. Really appreciate it. Those iTunes reviews really help us out a lot. So if anything, a way to give back.
5 stars in particular.
Yeah. It helps us be
5
seen.
stars.
It just helps us be seen, so we appreciate it. You got some there, Adam, for us?
Yeah. So the first one here is from Robert, and he says, living in Atlanta, Georgia, 35 years old, happily married, a wonderful 2-year-old daughter.
Awesome.
Enjoys listening to the podcast while driving an hour and a half back and forth from work each day. That sounds horrible.
Hold on. Is it hour and a half total commute or an hour and a half
It says
each
to
way?
and from, so that's 3 hours in the car.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Robert, move, dude.
Yeah.
No. This real estate, man. You never know.
Yeah,
I'm 40 minutes, and I think that's far.
I feel now I'm just depressed.
No,
but-
your circumstances might not mean that you can move, so we're just saying, like, thank you for listening to us.
Yeah,
But anyway,
thank you, man.
but anyway, keep going.
Yeah, it really helps my commute, so we're happy that we can help with that in particular. So he has 2 questions. First is, what do you guys do for a living? And the second is, how do you find time and energy to play games and have busy lives with jobs and so forth? And he says, so for example, he has a daughter. He puts her to sleep at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then he has an hour and a half or so to spend with his wife, play games, try to get done with everything, and wake up at 5:30 the next morning, and then go do adult stuff all day long. And he just says, thank you for creating the podcast. And
Yeah, read this part like word for it. It was really nice.
yeah. He says, additionally, I would like to say that I appreciate the time and effort you guys put or take out of your busy lives to create the podcast. It really does cheer me up on my long commute to work each day. Listening to your podcast in the car makes me feel as if I'm playing video games while driving, which is awesome.
That is cool.
So yeah, thank you. That's
thank you,
kind of
man.
we like that we make people's stuff go a little bit better. And then he also said that he particularly wanted to give a shout out to Shane and his daughter and family. Says that he's been donating to St. Jude's Children and been doing so since hearing about Shane.
That's awesome.
And so he's been doing that pretty diligently. So thanks for that as well. Not that our thanks is necessarily needed, but that's
No,
cool.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
So.
that's a real awesome email. Let's unpack a little. He asked a couple what are the questions he asked from the
So first is, what do we do for a living? And
Okay,
then
I could tell
2
you.
is, how do we find energy to keep playing games?
We usually don't like to say what we do for a living. Adam is taste tester for
Snickers.
ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, Ben & Jerry's.
I thought it was Dippin' Dots.
We're all mixed up here. Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Michael cleans street cleaning machines.
Street sweepers.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
yeah,
street sweepers.
Yeah, but he cleans the machines. He doesn't get to drive the street.
Oh, yeah.
Street
He's not-
sweeper.
I failed.
Yeah,
my
they
test.
don't. Yeah, they
failed
don't
the
trust
test.
us.
Failed the
He
driving
wasn't
test.
able to say street sweeper 10 times fast. So maybe next year they were saying he might be able to sit in the back. And then of course Shane, everybody knows he's a stay-at-home pastry cook. And then short story. Adam and I work in healthcare. I don't know. And then whatever you guys want to say, you're a stay-at-home dad.
I'm stay-at-home dad, but do a bunch of side work to help with the bills and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and I work in like a family business.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're in clothing. So
Yeah, I used to do music stuff. I have a music degree part-time, but don't do that anymore because of the time with the family. So did he get to the time with the family? The next question, what was after what we do?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's just
time-
basically, how do we find time to dedicate
yeah.
to games and so forth?
Me personally, how I find time to game, I don't. But if I do, I have to find different ways. Wake up early in the morning is one of the best ways, and a really good way to actually game because I'm really focused on it and I feel really clear and could really follow the story then. If not, it's going to be late at night and I'll put in 30 minutes to an hour and that's it. But that's usually how I do it. With collecting. Like my collecting usually takes priority over playing games, unfortunately, and I don't like that, but that's the way it is right now. But I mean, what do you guys do on playing games? I mean,
for me, like I get home at 6:30 at night and I hang out with my kids for an hour
Yeah.
till 7:30. And then I normally hang out with my wife. We watch some TV shows like Orange is the New Black or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she goes to bed at 10:30, and then I don't have to personally get to work till 9:30,
Yeah.
which
Whoa.
is
So you got
quite a
bit
bit
time.
later.
Yeah.
So I normally 10:30 to like 1 o'clock.
Nice.
Man, I'm jelly.
Yeah, so at 10:30 to like 1,
Hey.
10:30 to midnight, that's normally my game playing time.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my
Yeah,
free time.
my typical workday schedule. I work a lot of weekends. I work a lot of nights, and that kind of thing. And my schedule is very bizarre and changing a lot, kind of randomly at times. But I work I work a lot. Meaning
Yep.
I'll do 60, 70 hours a week most weeks or a lot of weeks. But I get weeks off, like
Yeah.
whole weeks at a time.
Sure.
And I get about 8 to 10 weeks, just weeks off a year because of the kind of schedule that I work. Typical day, I usually get up at 5:30 ish, and I usually get home 6 or 6:30 ish. So honestly, on typical work days, there's not a whole lot of time to to do gaming. I usually will still manage to squeeze in 30 minutes or an hour, before bedtime or whatever, after the kids get to sleep. So I usually try to eat dinner with the family, hang out with the kids just a little bit, I play a little bit of game or whatever. I don't watch TV really, and that's the one thing I don't do that a lot of people do. So people go, "Why do you spend so much time playing games?" Well, if you don't watch TV, you have more time
That's
to play
the way
games.
you can cut in there.
So
Yep.
so I made a conscious choice. Like, well, if I want to play games, that means I'm not watching TV, so I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
So I read my news and I stay informed, but I just don't spend hardly any time at all watching TV. I watch less than 10 minutes of TV a day, probably on average.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to make cuts on certain
So
things.
that's kind of how I do it. And then the weeks that I'm off, when I'm off for those whole weeks, of course we have family things to do and all that kind of stuff. But I squeeze as much gaming into those weeks as I can get.
Nice.
And that's kind of the way that I do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Benji, how do you do it, buddy?
Actually, I feel real similar issue that the emailer actually had. Like, how do you guys find time? Well, this podcast, editing the podcast, that kind of stuff, that takes some time away that I would normally be playing. But I always feel like, at the end of the day, no matter how busy you are, you make the time for the things that you need to do. Recently, I'm trying to make sure I'm as healthy as possible. So I'm getting up early. 5 o'clock is hard to get up, but it makes you go to bed early. And Shane, it's interesting you say that you get up early. I feel like, morning, if you really want to play a video game, and, nights for me, in my job, it's kind of rare to have a 9 to 5, but I have a pretty, not 9 to 5. It's actually, I get there at like 7, I leave at 5:30, I get home at 6. So same thing, put the kid to bed. By nighttime, I actually don't want to play for like a half an hour because it's hard to get into it. So I will kind of look at games. And I feel like part of this too is, I hate to say this, trying to find time for games, there might not be any for a while, and especially when our kids are young. So,
And that all flips when they change ages too, and it's different.
Exactly. Yeah, when they get older, they you'll have more time to play. But the other thing is just like, at the end of the day, talking about video games. This is a nostalgia factor we're going for.
Yeah.
Yes, video games, and I think Adam, you play more. I am jealous, like the whole week off thing. I would totally do what you're doing if I had your schedule, but I get like the satisfaction from just watching or hearing about it. Like when you say you played this game, I was like, oh, I get like a little bit of a high of that feeling. And this is a high we're chasing, that like we want this game, we want this tangible thing in our hand. Like I get as much satisfaction, getting a game pickup of something I feel is good enough to have the memory of I'll play it when my son's older, and that's good enough for me. And then you move on because it's just easier to check your phone or do that kind of thing. So like, if you really want to play that game, I say wake up early. Late at night's not always a possibility for everybody, but shoot, when no one's awake to, if you wake up before, let's say the spouse wants to spend time with you, that's relevant. You're married to somebody, that should be first priority, at least family, right? Or obligations. Waking up early, nobody really needs you to do anything whenever that time is for you. So that guy, with that commute, it's probably pretty hard. So the answer might be, you might realize listening about video games is gonna have to tide you over for a
little
while.
bit.
I don't think, unless you
So
really
at a
want to
certain
wake up
point,
early.
that's what everybody keeps telling me. Is like kids
Yeah.
hit a certain point, and it's gonna be better. It's
Yeah.
gonna be easier on you. So
Yeah, that 3-hour
schedule-wise.
commute.
Yep.
You should self-driving cars. Can you imagine if he could play a video game while in the car for 3 hours a day?
I was going to say, I have a
that'd be
buddy who
legit.
brings his handheld to him and plays on lunch. at work because he gets like an hour lunch,
Oh,
but it
that'd
only
be
takes him
good.
like 15
That's-
minutes to
that's
eat
an
his like
alternative.
sandwich that he brings with him. So he'll sit there in his car and play for like 45 minutes while he's at
That's
lunch.
a good alternative.
That is. He doesn't get beat up for that. I'm just saying. He's like,
Sure, he gets
his lunch
ragged
what
from
he
some of
taking?
his coworkers.
No, I'm just kidding. That's cool. Yeah, I would never think of that. I would never think of that. Cool.
All right, so I got another email here, and this is from Lee. He said, just listened to episode 35. Heard you purchased a new home. Congrats. So thank you. Best of luck on the move. Thought of moving my collection makes me want to curl up in the fetal position and cry. I'm there with you. I'm past the crying phase, and I'm getting into the acceptance phase at this point, but it's been a chore.
Did you move everything in that basement?
Oh yeah, I mean there's
Jeez.
still some stuff at the old house that still has to come over.
Wow.
Some shelving and things, but all the games are moved. So it was a lot of work to get all that stuff over there. But he has a question for you, Benjamin.
Oh, okay.
He says you mentioned you were selling your red tint or green tint, as it were.
Oh.
Is there something in particular you want to go after to replace it?
Oh, yes. I guess I'll tell you because I hinted at it. So I always think the genuine article is the best thing. So this red tent takes up a lot of space. It's very heavy. I found some really nice tabletop arcades. And, so you get different ones like the old iPad arcade. But recently I've looked at, there's some really nice custom tabletop MAME arcades that are done like really well. There's this Ninja Turtles one that's like... it's black and white. Did I send you pictures of this one, you guys?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's basically a tabletop that's got this really cool old school, like the Eastland type art, and it has like light up thing. It's just, it takes up less of a footprint, and it has like everything that's in this big MAME arcade to my right, outside of, the monitor could go out.
Yeah.
It's like an old stuff, and they're made really well. And then it would have every game from NES to GBA, and it's another kind of, I have an Xbox that can do that, but I was kind of wanting to replace it with that, so that's what I'm planning on
Something
getting
that you
for
actually
it.
play and use and appreciate a lot more.
And be able to play quickly, because this whole like turning things on and making sure I'm cleaning everything and everything else, and you got to wait for it to whatever. I feel like that thing, just flip it on, play it.
Done, turn it off,
you
go.
can't really break it or anything. So anyway, that's what I get. All right, we had a few other emails in response. We'll save that for next time, just for the book club and everything. So sorry if we didn't get to your email this time or question. We have them all out. Adam, is that that'll be enough emails for now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we have a few others with some book club picks and that kind of thing, but we'll do those on the next episode. There was one person who emailed us that I wanted to mention real quick too. His name's Billy.
Sure.
And I mentioned him in the last podcast. Said that I gave his son a game, Infamous, and I sort of flippantly said, "It's your kid's brain or whatever." So Billy sent me a nice email like, I actually do care about my kid's brain. and he's not playing Infamous just yet. It's going on the shelf. He'll get to play it when he gets a little bit older. So so my apologies to Billy. I know Billy's a cool guy and he's a really good dad, and I watch his YouTube videos with him and his kids and stuff. So does my son. Kind of said something stupid. Billy set me straight. So sorry, Billy. I have a tendency to put my foot in my mouth, every now and then. So I kind of did on the last episode. But thanks for calling me out on it.
All right, guys. So it's getting kind of late. We gotta get back to our lives and our wives and unless you're Michael.
It's your Michael King of the castle over there wearing the robe.
Yeah,
he's already got it on.
He
What are you doing?
Don't wear a robe in some other man's house. This
Come
is
on,
my house.
man. You're not king of this castle.
Take it off. So anyway, thanks guys for listening. Our next episode will be after Portland Retro Gaming Expo, so that'll be exciting. That'll be fun. This will be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Yes.
And we're
crazy,
all
dude.
going to survive the plane trip.
Yep, we all are. Otherwise, we have this left for our families. Don't look in the box in the corner of my... No, I'm just kidding. In the corner of my closet. Just throw that away, honey. JK, LOL. Thanks, guys, for listening. Episode 36. I think we're done, guys. We'll be back in 3 weeks, 3 Mondays. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Episode 36 is in the books.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.